The EFF also says the bill will allow U.S. privacy laws to be bypassed on U.S. soil. Senators Ron Wyden and Rand Paul attempted to get that provision an individual hearing and subsequent vote, saying it places far too much power in the president's hands and denies Congress its critical oversight role, but their request was denied. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports fewer than half of Americans trust Facebook to obey U.S. privacy laws, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Sunday, illustrating the challenge facing the social media network after a scandal over its handling of personal information. The poll, taken Wednesday through Friday, also found that fewer Americans trust Facebook than other tech companies that gather user data, such as Apple, Alphabet Incorporated's Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Yahoo. Some 41% of Americans trust Facebook to obey laws that protect their personal information, compared to 66% who say they trust Amazon, 62% who trust Google, 60% who trust Microsoft, and 47% who trust Yahoo. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
It's The Onion Radio News. A new crispy snack cracker will ease the crushing pain of modern life. The dull, all-consuming ache of present-day existence will be slightly alleviated when Nabisco's breakthrough T.C. McCrispy's line of crackers arrives today. Available in regular, Garden Ranch, and Zesty Cheddar, the new crackers will flood consumers' bodies with fat, salt, and starch to produce a pleasing sensation of warmth and nourishment, momentarily freeing them from a relentless, crushing sense of profound grief. Mel Krychek is Nabisco's Director of Corporate Communications.
Our tasty new snack cracker will, if only for a few lovely moments, significantly lessen the hideously bleak and empty torment of modern life that festers in every solitary soul.
Nabisco expects most despair-riddled consumers to eat an entire box in one sitting. Doyle Redland for The Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in here toll free, take control of the airwaves, bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Skype as well. The Skype username here is LRN.FM. Plus, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line available to you. You can join our Discord over at discord.lrn.fm. We'll tell you more about that coming up here in a moment. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
On the way here tonight, Melanie's going to be telling us about Pornhub versus YouTube. Is Pornhub an option for people that want to get their content away from YouTube? People are kind of leaving some of these larger platforms now. Elon Musk deleting his Facebook account. Is there an exodus from some of these mega platforms? We'll talk about that. And is Pornhub really an alternative? I don't know. I've never looked into it.
Never tried to upload a video to Pornhub.
No,
Sorry.
Never thought about that. But we'll see about that on the way here. Of course, you can bring up whatever is on your mind as well at 855-450, free like freedom. But to start the show tonight, we knew this one was coming. Anybody who has been listening to Free Talk Live talk about Venezuela over the last several years on this program and watching as the socialist nation has just been wreaking havoc on their economy through their insane economic policies like forced or government-mandated exchange rates for currencies, would know that in the past, the Venezuelan government lopped off some zeros from their currency, and they called the new currency the strong bolivar. So it was the bolivar, and then they lopped off some zeros, and they called it the strong bolivar, the bolivar fuerte.
Yeah, this has been done before. Greece did basically the same thing a couple of years ago.
Did Greece lop off some zeros?
They took the.
They did a haircut.
They did basically forced deflation. I want to call it.
They did what they call a haircut, where they took money out of people's bank.
Well, they took a percentage. That's the same thing.
Cyprus, you're referring to the haircut.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cyprus. Okay, I was thinking that was the same thing as Greece for whatever reason.
Crete is an island that is shared between Greece and Turkey.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So perhaps you're thinking of Crete.
So was it Cyprus that did the haircut, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, what happened in Greece then?
Greece is a financial disaster, and they aren't going to pay their debts to the EU.
Oh, that was the EU thing. Right, where the EU loaned them. The EU countries loaned Greece a bunch of money, and they basically are still in hock to them.
They also took out random amounts of money from people's
and they did
accounts.
Haircuts.
They froze the bank accounts and only allowed certain withdrawals.
Right. So what you're saying is there
won't be a run on the bank because we're disallowing it.
So you're saying the haircut terminology is basically the same thing as lopping zeros off the money.
Yeah,
but
I don't see how that's different at all.
Well, the way they have to go about it is different, right? So I see what you're saying. Like the results aren't ultimately different in that it's deflationary. The way they have to go about this one is, well, they're setting a deadline because they're doing it again. This is why I was saying that this one was predictable, right? They've done it in the past, and now Venezuela's central bank has announced that, yes, they are going to be deleting 3 zeros from their currency, the so-called Bolivar Fuerte, according to the story at the Washington Post.
Is it going to now be the Bolivar Super Fuerte?
I don't know if they've renamed it or what's going on with that, but that's an excellent question. Would it be a?
So I mean,
would it be
I wonder
Super
if they'll
Fuerte
use the,
or Fuerte Super?
I don't know how you would use that in Spanish, but it would be interesting to see if they're just going to use the same bills, and then showing the relationship between money in circulation versus real money, because money in circulation is really only a representation of what is called money these days.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to handle it. We'll learn more here from the story from Reuters and the Washington Post. Economic pledges may be par for the course in election campaigns, but in hyperinflationary Venezuela, the candidates' dueling promises are going further, with the incumbent vowing to lop a few zeros off the currency, while his main challenger is calling for the adoption of the U.S. dollar. In fact, while you're at it, Mark, if you could pull up dollartoday.com, we'll get a current update on what the black market rate of $1 U.S. dollar in Venezuela is, something we've been following for years here on Free Talk Live. President Nicolas Maduro, late Thursday last week, briefly outlined his monetary rescue plan. Yes, that's right. The same man who absolutely presided over the devaluation of the currency has come up with a plan to save everybody.
It looks like 235,417 Bolivar Fuertes to $1.
That's the black market rate. The official rate is 10 to 1. 10 Bolivar
that's
to
listed also, yeah.
$1 U.S. dollar. And so the real rate, of course, is the one that's closest to 230,000 Bolivar. In a country where a dozen eggs can cost hundreds of thousands of bolivars amid worsening inflation, he would chop 3 zeros off the currency, arguably bringing the price for those eggs down to 250 bolivars. I ask you for all your prayers and support for the success of the monetary reconversion, he said in a televised event Thursday night. Well, that's because you're going to need prayers, because this is not an economically sound policy. And really the only question is, once they lob off the 3 zeros, is how long it will take for them to get right back to where they are. Because it did take them a decade, dozen years or something like that from the last time they did this. It was sometime in the aughts, I think it was, where they, again, devalued the currency by creating the so-called strong bolivar. And now they're running through the same playbook yet again. But the inflation is much worse now than it was then.
They're already in this deflationary spiral to such a large extent that it...
Wait, deflationary spiral?
Inflationary spiral to such a large extent that they're really in trouble. This is nothing.
This is a desperate
This isn't
move.
Rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Like, this is just kicking a chair to the corner and calling it something. I mean, like, there's not even time, right?
Yeah.
These chairs aren't going to float. Just forget about them. I mean, when Zimbabwe was in hyperinflation and Venezuela, I'd say, Venezuela is in hyperinflation.
Oh, yeah.
Zimbabwe went
They're
up
not
to,
giving out their own numbers, and they haven't since like 2015. The central bank has not issued any official numbers on its inflation rate since 2015.
I've got a $1 trillion Zimbabwe note at home, so I'm a trillionaire.
We have a 10 trillion one here, right?
There's a 10 billion hanging on the wall, just pinned to the
Only
wall.
10 billion? I thought it was 10 trill. I'm having trouble reading.
You're right.
It.
It's 10 trillion.
10 trillion. Yeah.
So we're multi-trillionaires here.
That's
at
right.
Free
And
Talk
it's
Live.
sitting right next to a Zimbabwe $1 note.
Yeah, they're both worth the same thing. Garbage.
Next to a 2 Bolivar note, the Bolivar Fuerte there with the dolphins on it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty.
It is pretty.
But these things are basically
toilet paper.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah. In fact, they're probably more plentiful than actual toilet paper in Venezuela, which has been very hard to come by.
Yeah.
Thanks to the economic
point,
situation there.
The government is so bad at paying its debts that the company that prints its dollars, its Bolivar Fuertes,
that's right,
has refused to print them.
Correct.
Like they're not paying their bills. They don't want to. They're not going to accept Bolivar Fuertes for this bill because they print them. They want real money by their standard, whatever that might be, gold, dollars, ammunition, I don't know. But they want something of value, and they don't feel like it's this.
So we also, of course, have been talking about Venezuela in the situation of them issuing a new cryptocurrency, supposedly. And it's been a while since we've gotten an update on that, so we'll see what we can find out about the status of the Petro. But first, more about this grand plan to lob 3 zeros off of the currency there in a desperate attempt to try to fool people into thinking the Bolivar is actually worth something. The move came as Henri Falcon, a former governor running against Maduro in the elections that are set for May, is proposing a far more radical fix. He wants to follow the path of countries such as Ecuador and Panama by dollarizing the Venezuelan economy. Doing so, he says, would prevent the printing of new bills, instantly constraining inflation. Now, I'm not an economics expert. When they say to dollarize the economy, does that mean to just simply allow dollars to be used legally in the marketplaces, or to peg their currency to the dollar in some kind of way?
Either of those things.
All right, so it's not clear exactly what he's proposing.
It's the same thing. I mean, if you print your own, you have to have an amount of dollars, to sort of back it up, or you have to, base it on how many you let out there just to keep it worth a dollar.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
I got my Blink home security system delivered right to my door. I downloaded the app and it walked me right through the easy setup. Even with my complicated router system, I was done in like 10 minutes. Now it notifies me whenever something moves in front of the wireless cameras, or I can just check it whenever I want right from my phone. And I got you a deal. Get 3 Blink cams for what the other guys charge you for 1, plus an extra 10% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial on in here toll free to bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype at Skype username LRN.FM, and our Discord on-air call-in line, which we're going to be going to shortly, is there for you too. Go to discord.lrn.fm. As soon as our current caller is out, you can jump on in there and take over. So you can bring up whatever you want here on Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com, great destination to go learn about cryptocurrency. Learn about that which started it all. The entire cryptocurrency craze, of course, was started by Bitcoin. So go to Bitcoin.com to get the basics or get the latest news headlines over at news.bitcoin.com. Great place to go and find out what's going on in the world of Bitcoin, which is a very big world and it's global. Go to news.bitcoin.com for the latest information on Bitcoin. As we continue here, we've been talking about Venezuela. There's more to say about that because they've got a plan to chop basically 3 zeros, apparently, right off of the back end of the Venezuelan price tags by restructuring, redenominating, I guess would be the correct term here. Reconversion is the term that Maduro uses. He's begging for people's prayers and hoping that this succeeds, which, of course, it will not. This is not even a Band-Aid over
Prayers
a gushing
don't
wound.
work in economics.
Right. So, and by the way, this is the guy that talks to birds and says that the birds are Hugo Chavez, that they're speaking through the dead man who he replaced, the former president of the country, speaking through birds to him. He has said that publicly. So.
If prayers worked for economics, then the lottery would be really messed up.
Indeed. So we're going to go to your calls and thoughts here. We can talk more about that and whatever you want to discuss. Big Loaf is on the line, I believe from North Carolina, and he's in our Discord on-air call-in line room. Hello, Big Loaf.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, Melanie, thank you for keeping it real. And this question is actually for you, Melanie. So in Buncombe County, which is in the western part of our state, I guess there's some a-hole running for sheriff. And evidently he was asked about, gun confiscation, specifically, would you take it from their cold, dead hands? And he sort of kind of joked about it and said, well, yeah, I guess that's what we got to do, right? So I'm sort of kind of, wondering what your take is on a sheriff who is willing to kill people to get their guns.
I mean, pretty much my same take on all cops, maybe moved up the priority list, but that's not really a moral standard, and it's kind of a meaningless standard because we're not at the first person on the priority list yet. So, yeah, I mean, obviously bad. I'm not sure what else you want other than that.
Nothing in particular. I guess that says
Well, what's
enough.
new? I mean, if you look at sheriffs around the country, I imagine if there was some kind of poll of sheriffs, the supermajority would absolutely confiscate guns if that was what they were ordered to do. I suspect you would find
they're not all chomping at the bit to do it, though.
Oh, yeah, but Mark, they'll do it if they're told, right? And that's just as bad as chomping at the bit.
I think that
it's almost
some will
as bad.
approach it with more efficiency than others.
Well, I mean,
Oh, that
it's
makes it better.
more, it's
No,
more
it doesn't.
respectable, I guess, if it can even be called that, for someone to be like, I want to do this and will do it, than somebody who's just like, I'm indifferent, but I just do what I'm told.
Or somebody who's like, I don't want to do this, but I've got to. I'm so sorry, as they're taking guns from
Yeah,
people.
I mean, they're practically the same, but at least one guy's like kind of respectable about it.
Because he's honest and in your face about it?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I mean, an honest mobster, still, a bad person, for making offers that they can't refuse. People can't refuse, but they're still a mobster. I guess marginally they're better than.
Well, yeah, and it's a very small difference, and it's not really a practical difference at all. It's just like, I mean, I would rather, from what I'm told from people who have dealt with the mafia, I would rather deal with the mafia than with, St. Tammany Parish Police Department, because at least the mafia is going to be like, it's going to cost you X dollars. These are the rules. And, this is what's going to happen.
Right. We know the police will confiscate firearms because police already confiscate firearms. They take, people who are convicted felons who have committed no crime other than having a gun to protect themselves are arrested all the time in this country. And I would point out to those listening and to those that want to see ARs banned that they are disproportionately minorities. So, if you want to ban ARs, you want to send more black people who have not harmed anyone to prison. That's the reality of this. Gun confiscation is racist every single time. Nobody wants to say it because it's the rich white liberals that want to take the guns.
Well,
they want to get them out of the hands of other rich white liberals.
Well, they took guns from white people during Hurricane Katrina.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they took guns from everybody.
But they didn't put them in prison.
It's like, there's this contingent of people who are like, on one hand, like, out of my cold dead hands, and on the other hand, they're like, worshiping the cops that are saying, okay, you're cold dead hands.
Yeah.
That's what really bakes my noodle.
I drive through in my mother's neighborhood. I was just in Sarasota, Florida. In her neighborhood is what I presume to be a cop's house, where the three flags fly on a pole. The top is the American flag. Beneath it is the Gadsden flag, and beneath that is the thin blue line flag. So you have you have the American flag, the "Don't Tread on Me."
That's a nasty sandwich right there.
Which is pretty obvious that it's the American government that will do the treading when it treads, and it's the police that will come to do the treading when the treading is done. Like, it's just amazing how these people can think this. But
and Mark, don't you just want to scream, pick one?
You're right. Pick any one of these things. I think you could safely fly the American flag and the thin blue line flag. That those go well together.
Some people have merged them together, and they actually have a American flag that's been sort of de-redized and is all blue, black, and I think white.
Yeah.
And so the stripes are like blue and black, and then white stars.
I believe the Black Lives Matter have some Black Lives Matter movement has like the kick a brother to sleep flag. I'm not entirely sure what they call that, but it's something similar.
Do they really? Are you joking?
No, I mean that's like when did the thin blue line flag get merged with the American flag, and that was
within the last few years. I think.
It was about the same time of the Colin Kaepernick refusing to stand in the whole thing. The big fervor.
If you go to these people's pages, they're pretty open about the fact of who and what they are.
It doesn't take.
They act like the internet isn't public for some reason, and nobody can see this. But
Big Loaf, any other thoughts you want to share tonight? Go ahead.
No, sir. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Thanks for the call. Big loaf there. And you can dial in here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. He was on our Discord on-air call-in line, and it sounds great. Almost everybody there sounds pretty great. Unless you've got some sort of upload going on that's killing your bandwidth, you'll sound pretty awesome.
And that's how it's done, too. Yep. Call in, bring up the topic you want to talk about, and we'll do it.
So if you want to get in that Discord room, it's open for you right now. Just go to discord.lrn.fm. There is a web version of Discord, but there's also apps which make it super easy to use. Apps for iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, Linux, pretty much whatever operating system you're using. Get yours over at discord.lrn.fm. As we continue, we'll allow you to take control of the airwaves here anytime you want. This is Free Talk Live.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. You're invited here. If you want to join us, you may take control of the airwaves. Just dial on in toll free at 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Or you can Skype in at Skype username LRN.FM. Here in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Still to come here this evening, of course, your calls about what you want. Also, Melanie's going to be telling us about some people apparently turning to Pornhub for uploading their non-pornographic videos. That's a surprise, but we'll see if we can learn more about that. We're also discussing what's going on in Venezuela with the latest desperate move by the Venezuelan government. No, we're not talking about the Petro at the moment, although I do want to get an update on what's going on with that malarkey. But this particular ridiculous economic plan is to just go right ahead and do the same thing they did, I don't know, a dozen or so years ago, and completely revalue their currency by just basically lopping off 3 zeros from the end of it. Because right now, you can trade $1 in the black market for around 235,000 Bolivar Fuerte, the so-called strong Bolivar, according to DollarToday.com.
That's a lot of junk money.
And once this new plan goes into effect, you'll be able to trade $1 for 250 if you believe the government's plan. But of course, the reality is the black market is going to revaluate the new Bolivar at exactly what it's worth. And I don't know for how long people are going to be fooled by this at all, or if anyone in Venezuela is going to be fooled by it. If they were fooled by it the first time, back when it was originally done under Hugo Chavez, are they going to be fooled by it again? You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, you don't really have to be fooled by it. It's just kind of a thing that happens.
Well, if you're fooled by it, you might actually, in your head, revalue the currency. If not, then the next day you go to the black market and it's still going to be 1 to 235,000. Where will it actually be?
So Venezuela could have learned its lesson. The government of Venezuela could choose to reevaluate their currency at 1 to 235,000 and then just keep it there. As they say, dollarize their currency and just keep it there by pulling currency in rather than creating more money, by pulling it in and destroying it. And all you have to do that is basically, it's a transaction online. We're not talking about burning bills here. They wouldn't do that. The bills are, constructs of value. But most money isn't in the form of bills. Banks aren't holding on to big piles of cash.
That's
most
right.
bank vaults are full of paperwork. They don't even have things in their vaults really much anymore. I was just listening to a teller say this. We don't even have money in our vault.
Really?
So they don't. Huh.
There's no reason for a bank to keep money in their vaults.
Well, they've got some in there, but it's not what you would expect. It's not like you see in the movies, I imagine. But so you've got the two proposals here that are being pitched to the Venezuelan people. One is from Nicolas Maduro, the president, who's presided over a precipitous decline in economic strength in the country. He's the one who wants to lop the zeros off. His opponent, who is running against him in elections that are set for May, which should be very interesting because we've been following along with the sort of the political mess over in Venezuela here as well. Henri Falcon is the one who wants to do the dollarization of the Venezuelan economy, which he says would prevent the new printing of bills and instantly constraining inflation. Socialist Venezuela is going through a crisis that has left people struggling to pay for food and find medicines. Prices are being influenced by a black market exchange rate that rises by the day and is currently 5 times the nearly inaccessible official rate. Now, they're giving you the second official rate. There's 2 different official rates. There's the 10-to-1 rate for the average person, and then there's the, the DIPRO, I think it was, DIPRO. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but there's a special, production rate or industry rate, exchange rate that is different. Anyway, that's what they're referring to when they talk about 5 times, because the actual rate is far more than 5 times higher. let's see here. Customers are standing in hours-long lines at banks to take out a daily limit, which is set so low that it barely covers the price of a cup of coffee.
That's useful.
I mean, can you imagine even standing in that
line to get a cup of coffee?
Right. Larger.
But if I think about a cup of coffee, I don't know what a cup of coffee is. That measure has become less and less useful as time goes by.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought a caramel latte at Panera yesterday. First time I've ever had one of these things. And
$6.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not coffee.
Okay.
But my delicious coffee flavored beverage was $4.50.
Okay.
Before tax. So what's that? $5 for a cup of, if you want to call it that. I'm only saying this is the top end. You could top end a cup of coffee at somewhere around $5 or $6.
Yep.
You could bottom end it somewhere around, I say 50 cents maybe is the very bottom end of what you would call a cup of coffee. So
I think it'd be hard to find a 50-cent cup of coffee.
I think you're better off using terminologies like loaf of bread, but that's not even, that in and of itself isn't even accurate. But you can get a loaf of bread for $1.99 at the store, you know, the sort of white wheat, honey wheat sliced bread thing. You can, so that's, but we gotta come up with a better measure of what something's worth in a cup of coffee.
Larger transactions are done by bank card or transfer, although some vendors are charging double for electronic payments. I mean, after all, you have to pay the credit card company a certain portion of the fee, and by the time you get done with the business of the day, the currency's probably devaluated some more by that time. So it's not easy. In fact, we also read a story recently that it's getting so crazy that they can't even put in the number of zeros they need into the credit card machines. So the credit card PIN pad machine that every business has was only designed to have however many zeros it was designed to have. The average retailer isn't doing a $100,000 sale, right? That's not happening in most places that are using credit card machines.
Right.
But in Venezuela, 100,000 bolivar is less than a U.S. dollar. So it's regularly occurring that you've got 6, 7, 8-digit sales happening at checkouts.
Yeah, surely somebody bought a lawnmower in the last month in Venezuela, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even buying dinner. You're talking about if you could afford dinner, if you can afford to go eat out.
And lots of people are losing weight in Venezuela.
Yes. But if there's some tourist in Venezuela who's actually eating at one of the restaurants that's still open.
If there's a tourist in Venezuela, they're a really horrible person. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Wait. Why are they a horrible person? I'd say they're brave as hell for going there.
You can be brave and horrible. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Well, what makes them horrible exactly?
Because they're going to see the sights of people starving in the street? Like, this is not a vacation.
Well, they could be going to just see what socialism does. And
maybe they want to help the people that are there.
Spending a little money
is
not
beneficial. On vacation. You said on vacation.
Well,
or you said tourist.
We went to Acapulco, and I'm sure that the kind folks of Acapulco appreciated the few dollars that we spread around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ian's a cheapskate. He doesn't like to hand it out very much.
I am not.
Okay, but even Mexico doesn't have hyperinflation and people starving to death of the entire population.
I gave our cabbie 1,000 Mexican dollars at the end of the day.
Pesos?
At the end of
pesos or pesos?
Pesos.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like $60 tip basically, or something like that at the time. So anyway, going on here with the story, Maduro's redenomination plan was met with serious skepticism by critics and analysts who say that the impact on hyperinflation...
Hold on a second. 1,000 pesos is $60?
I think it was about that much at the time.
20 pesos is $1, so 200 is 10. So that's, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was a roundabout number that I figured out at the time.
I dropped a zero in my brain. Excuse me.
So anyway, going on here, of course, critics and analysts are skeptical, saying the impact on hyperinflation would be minimal and that the plan would be confusing. All right, are you ready? By June 2nd, under Maduro's plan, new bolivars with lower denominations would be circulated, but old ones with denominations as high as 100,000 would remain valid. It would leave vendors charging two prices. One for the old bills, the other for the redenominated bolivar. So they must have found a new printer, Mark.
God.
The toll-free number here is 855-450, free like freedom. We'll talk about some of the other plan aspects here in moments and why it's just not going to work and might make things worse. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite. Pick up 2 bottles of LicoChops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved LicoChops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try LicoChops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynovite.
DINOVITE.com.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at Zencash.com. That's Zencash.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to My Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
We've made significant progress wiring the nation's schools for the internet, but we have to do more. Every child in America should have an internet-capable computer in their bedroom at home, preferably with a high-resolution webcam. I have been to children's chat rooms and have been shocked and disappointed to find they are frequently empty. Even when these youngsters do manage to find their way online, they lack the skills to do something as simple as pinpoint their location on Google Maps. I long for the day when someone can log onto the Nickelodeon Under 13 chat room and type, "Hey, any kids in here like to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? I have a Nintendo at my house," and be overwhelmed with instant messages. Then I'll know we're doing our job supporting technology in this country.
This is the Onion News Network.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want right here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Another terrible economic idea out of Venezuela, which the president says is going to save everybody, is to just knock some zeros off the old currency. We'll tell you more about exactly what they're planning on doing and why it's not going to work. here in moments. Of course, you can also bring up whatever is on your mind, and I do definitely want to let you know about Zencash. It is not just currency. It is also an encrypted messaging system. But the most important thing about Zencash is the zero knowledge anonymity that is built into it. It is great technology. In fact, they've got some of the best tech out there, not only the zero knowledge anonymity, but also they're working on the decentralized autonomous organizations to help govern the currency, which, of course, were very successful with other currencies like Dash. Zencash was created back in 2017, so it's still relatively new to the scene, but it was made by voluntarists, people that actually care about freedom. They love liberty. They understand economics. And you can read the white paper and see for yourself. They actually mention voluntarism right in there no less than half a dozen times. Go to Zencash.com to learn more about Zencash. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency out there. So they've got it technically. They've got it economically. It's definitely worth looking at and considering. Go to Zencash.com as we continue here. So here's the plan. June 2nd. Now, again, Maduro is facing re-election. So if he fails for some reason, and we know what he did last time. He actually threw one of his opponents in a prison cell to try to stop him from running against him. So who knows what he's going to pull out against his current opponents this upcoming election.
Yeah, he has no intention of stepping down from the presidency.
Certainly not. So we'll see how that goes in May. But presuming he does get reelected somehow, like, for instance, by preventing his opponents from voting, that might be one way that he'll do it. But we'll see what happens. He is planning to implement this June 2nd. They'll print new bolivars. And it's yet to be answered whether or not they're going to rename the bolivar again, because, again, they did this a dozen or so years ago. They changed it from the bolivar to the bolivar fuerte, and, of course, people just refer to it as the bolivar. So are they going to call it something different this time, like Bolivar
Super Fuerte
Extremo or something like that? The denominations, according to the story here, bolivars with lower denominations will be circulated, the new ones, because, again, they're knocking 3 zeros off. But the old bolivars with denominations as high as 100,000 bolivars would remain valid. It would leave vendors charging two prices, one for old bills, the other for the redenominated bolivar. Salaries would also be redenominated, so little would change in terms of buying power, which of course means you won't be able to buy Jack S, because right now I think the average salary is like $5 a month, essentially worth of bolivar in Venezuela. And you can check me on that, but it was pretty dismal the last that I heard. Economists say simply chopping off zeros of the bolivar notes is unlikely to halt hyperinflation, since the government would still be printing reams of cash. In addition, the forces that have sent prices soaring, including food and medical scarcities, would remain in place. Now remember, the scarcity of those things, I guess what you got to look at the way these journalists try to explain economics in this case.
Well, they don't know it.
Right. That's why it's problematic. Food and medicinal supplies are scarce, and certainly scarcity is going to send prices upward, no doubt about that. But the reason for the scarcity is because of the government's manipulations in the economy in the first place. The reason why there's no medicine or food in a temperate, tropical climate like this, where food can easily be grown around, year-round, the reason why is because of socialism and these socialist economic policies where the government is forcing people to accept a certain exchange rate when the actual exchange rate that the market is demanding is very, very different. And that essentially has resulted in it being impossible for anybody that wants to do business in Venezuela to actually do business, presuming they haven't already been forcibly taken over, nationalized by the government. If they could still do their business, they can't, because ultimately all their suppliers want to get paid in dollars, and it's illegal to do that. And it's just
a socialist can't leave the economy alone, because the best way to handle an economy is to leave it alone, right? A socialist sees the economy and says, this isn't fair. And so they have to figure out how to make it fair. And that's what's going on there.
Fair.
Well, at this point, people, far more people are equally poor, and things have gotten pretty fair in Venezuela, except for the politicians. They're doing real well, and that's
Maduro's pretty
these
chubby.
are the results over and over again, and it's because people, I believe, have a innate perverted sense of what is fair. That's our fundamental problem. So let me make my case here. Capuchin monkeys, they're given the opportunity to do some labor for treats, grapes, pieces of cucumber, that kind of thing.
Okay.
They have a preference of the grapes over the cucumbers.
I would too.
Two capuchin monkeys are given the same task. If you give one of them a grape and one of them a piece of cucumber, and they can't see each other, everybody's happy. They continue to work. If you give them the grape and the cucumber in front of each other, the one who's getting the cucumber is very quickly slinging poop at you.
Yeah.
Right? He's mad because the other one is getting a delicious grape and all he's getting is a piece of cucumber.
And they're asking them to do the same work.
Right. Yeah. And I can see why people would feel that way about the same work. But what you have in the economy is people who are able to make more money and people who are not able to make as much money. I am not capable of making the kind of money that Bill Gates made. I'm just not that kind of economic superstar. I don't have that kind of drive to create that kind of business. I've created a pretty good one along with you here in the creation
but
of
I also
Free Talk
wouldn't
Live.
want to have the lack of free time that Bill Gates has either.
Sure.
So that's the trade-off. You can choose to found Microsoft or you can choose to, work 40 hours a week.
Those are things that one chooses.
Free Talk Live isn't a business. It's an arm of the Shire Free Church. But at one time it was in the long distant past.
Yeah, and it was sold. And, and it's great. Everything's working out fine. But all in all, I'm not that kind of superstar. But it doesn't make me envy Bill Gates. I'm not like, why, that guy, he's bad for having that money and stuff. No, it doesn't make me feel that way.
I hate Bill Gates for Windows 10, not because he's rich.
He probably wasn't involved in designing it. I mean, he's not
I don't hate him for Windows 10 nearly as much as I hate him for Windows 8.
Oh, yeah. Kind of skipped by that one.
Sucked.
So, back to the story here from wherever it is, the Washington Post. So again, chopping off the zeros, not going to be too helpful here. In fact, some Venezuelan business owners have already started eliminating 3 zeros from prices simply because they're too long to fit on the printed receipts. Jean-Paul Lindez, senior economist at the Caracas-based Ecoanalítica, says, quote, taking out 3 zeros doesn't in any way solve any of the causes of hyperinflation.
Nope.
It's just a cosmetic fix that won't work, unquote. Maduro's announcement is just his latest attempt to control runaway inflation. He has already launched a new cryptocurrency, the Petro, supposedly. So far, the last time we checked, you couldn't even get the Petro if you wanted to. Like, even if you wanted to give this government money, which you shouldn't do, you couldn't get it because their site was broken when they launched this thing. I think it was February 20th. So it's actually been more than a month since they officially launched the pre-ordering of the Petro, because the original plan was not that the Petro would be available on launch, that a token would be sold to you on another cryptocurrency's blockchain, which originally it was supposed to be Ethereum, but then they changed it to, I think it was Neo or EOS, one of the other ones. They changed it to a different crypto like right before they launched. And then even if you wanted to go and get that, you couldn't because their site was so effing broken, you couldn't get through it without JavaScript errors popping up. It was impossible. No one could do it, even those who wanted to. So maybe they fixed that by now, but I don't know. We'll get an update.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, we'll get an update on what's going on with the Petro a little bit later on. President Trump, in an executive order, has already banned U.S. transactions in the Petro, which U.S. officials have dubbed a scam. Few see the Petro as a genuine solution, and Maduro's new redenomination plan appears to be a tactical admission that the government is seeking another answer. One thing's for certain. The debate on how to halt hyperinflation is at the center of a presidential election that opposition leaders have called a farce and have boycotted. But Falcon, a former ally of leftist firebrand Hugo Chavez, who before dying of cancer had handpicked Maduro, insists that he has a chance. The Yankee dollar, Falcon says, will help him win. Falcon's dollarization plan has appeared to hit a nerve with the country's impoverished people. And we'll tell you a little more coming up here in moments. Toll-free number 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. A little more on economics of Venezuela and, of course, your calls and thoughts. Welcome. Plus, Pornhub versus YouTube. Are people actually switching their uploads of non-pornographic videos to a porn site? I don't believe it. We'll find out more, though, coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, March 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.63 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,348 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,132. Antiwar.com reports a week after taking the district capital, the Turkish military has issued a statement claiming full military control over Syria's entire Afrin district. The Kurdish district was first invaded back in January with an eye towards expelling the Kurds from border areas. The fall of Afrin city last week was effectively the end of the fighting, though Turkish forces still had to make their way through a few scattered villages in the district's south and have also faced some resistance from Kurdish YPG forces. Turkish officials have indicated that they are moving eastward from Afrin, attacking the town of Tel Rifat. This is likely an effort to temporarily delay the confrontation with the U.S. over the city of Manbij. Manbij is Kurdish-held with a U.S. military presence, and Turkey had previously said it would be the next target after Afrin. Months of Turkish strikes appear to have had some serious impact on life in Afrin, as Turkey reported they've discovered a hidden underground hospital in Afrin. The site contained a lot of U.S.-provided medical aid and YPG uniforms, leading Turkey to conclude the hospital was treating Turkish terrorists. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports U.S. and foreign law enforcement agencies will now have easier access to Americans' electronic communications after news that a provision was included in the federal spending bill. The Clarifying Overseas Use of Data Act, also known as the CLOUD Act, gives law enforcement access to the contents of a wire or electronic communication and any record of any information if those contents are stored in servers overseas, regardless of the privacy laws of that country. In addition, the CLOUD Act allows the President of the United States to enter into agreements with other other countries to share private electronic communications and data of individuals regardless of the privacy laws of each country. The sponsors of the bill, Senators Orrin Hatch, Sheldon Whitehouse, Chris Coons, and Lindsey Graham, said it also allows laws to catch up with technology. Hatch said in a statement last month, the Cloud Act bridges the divide that sometimes exists between law enforcement and the tech sector by giving law enforcement the tools it needs to access data throughout the world, while at the same time creating a common-sense framework to encourage international cooperation to resolve conflicts of law. The bill also received praise from Microsoft President Brad Smith, who said it creates a modern legal framework for how law enforcement agencies can access data across borders. But critics of the Cloud Act say it legalizes erosion of privacy rights. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital privacy organization, says people's private emails, social media chats, and other online communications will be open to foreign law enforcement without a warrant and with few restrictions on using and sharing your information. The EFF also says the bill will allow U.S. privacy laws to be bypassed on U.S. soil. Senators Ron Wyden and Rand Paul attempted to get that provision an individual hearing and subsequent vote, saying it places far too much power in the president's hands and denies Congress its critical oversight role, but their request was denied. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports fewer than half of Americans trust Facebook to obey U.S. privacy laws, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Sunday, illustrating the challenge facing the social media network after a scandal over its handling of personal information. The poll, taken Wednesday through Friday, also found that fewer Americans trust Facebook than other tech companies that gather user data, such as Apple, Alphabet Incorporated's Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Yahoo. Some 41% of Americans trust Facebook to obey laws that protect their personal information, compared to 66% who say they trust Amazon, 62% who trust Google, 60% who trust Microsoft, and 47% who trust Yahoo. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
It's The Onion Radio News. Starbucks begins its sinister Phase 2 of operation. This is Doyle Redland reporting. After a decade of aggressive expansion throughout North America and abroad, Starbucks suddenly and unexpectedly closed its 56,423 worldwide locations today to prepare for what insiders call Phase 2 of the company's long-range plan. Cynthia Valkamp, Starbucks head of marketing, made this brief statement at a press conference earlier today.
We have enjoyed furnishing you with coffee-related beverages and are excited about the important role you play in our future plans.
Existing Starbucks franchises across the nation have been shuttered with high-strength titanium, and the well-known Starbucks logo has been slightly altered to present the familiar mermaid figure as a cyclopean mermaid whose all-seeing eye forms the apex of a world-spanning pyramid. Doyle Redland for The Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free, bring up whatever you want here as we launch into the second hour of the program. Our toll-free number, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And our Skype username is LRN.FM. Joining you here tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
Also, we've got Discord, and there's an on-air call-in line room there. You can join if you want to get on the air with us as well. Go to discord.lrn.fm. The chat room is hopping as it usually is in there. In fact, there's multiple chat rooms in our Discord, but the one that's busy right now is the one that's for Free Talk Live. There's other ones, though, like cryptocurrency and gaming-related rooms, some New Hampshire-related discussion as well. It's all there over at discord.lrn.fm. For those of you just tuning in, it's more bad news out of Venezuela, where the government is, the president, if he gets reelected, is planning on lopping off some zeros off the back end of the currency. And maybe it won't be something, well, Maybe if he doesn't get reelected, they'll still go ahead with that. But his opposition is saying that he wants to dollarize the bolivar, that they want to dollarize their currency there.
So the opposition wants to dollarize the bolivar.
Correct.
Maduro
just wants to lop some zeros off.
Wants to remove some zeros from the bolivar's bill, off the bills, basically.
Yes, one of those plans is much better than the other, in my opinion. I mean, I'm no fan of fiat government currencies,
but the U.S. dollar has shown itself to be a resilient fiat currency, historically.
I mean, it's going to be subject to inflation too, but at the very least, it won't allow the government of Venezuela to be the ones deciding the inflation rate, which, of course, is what's going on now, even though the president of the country, Nicolas Maduro, will deny it to the hilt. He would like you to believe, and the people of Venezuela to believe, that all the inflation is the doing of the black market and that DollarToday.com.
Oh, no, he wants the U.S. blamed, too.
Right, and the U.S. and DollarToday.com.
Neither of which explanations make any sense whatsoever.
No.
There's sanctions on Venezuela, so you can certainly lay some of the blame for the economy at the U.S.'s doorstep.
It's not going to cause hyperinflation, though.
Nope, it wouldn't.
For sure. Inflation, of course, for those that are maybe new to the term or went to government school, inflation is not the rise of prices. Inflation is the increase of the money supply. And then prices tend to rise as a result of that because you've got more money chasing around the same amount of goods. Or in this case, in Venezuela, more money chasing around even fewer goods because nobody can get any money, any goods into the country.
Because the economy has been destabilized in part by U.S. Sanctions.
Yeah, but the economy's really been destabilized mostly by the government of Venezuela forcing an exchange rate on people and basically preventing you cannot go into the bank and you cannot give them a 10 bolivars and get a U.S. dollar out of the bank. You could do the reverse. You can give them a U.S. dollar and get
they'll be happily take your U.S. dollars for anything, whatever it is you want.
Right, but if you've got to pay for a pallet full
probably
of toilet
get sexual
paper,
favors from the bank manager for the U.S. dollars. I mean, that's how in demand they are.
There's plenty of toilet paper in the world, so there's no shortage of toilet paper. But there's a shortage in Venezuela because the person who's willing to sell you the pallet of toilet paper on a cargo ship is only willing to sell it for dollars or euros or some other form of money that they can actually trade on the world market.
Because if they did it in Bolivar Fuertes, they wouldn't be able to hold the money and have it be worth the same thing. You can literally get paid, and by the time you get to the store, your pay has been devalued.
Yeah, so they're not taking the Bolivar, which means that basically business can't get done. And that's all the government's fault there. But yes, I agree with you, Mark. Certainly sanctions are not helping. Sanctions prevent people who want to try to help the Venezuelan people by, let's say, doing business with them from doing business with them. So I'm completely against sanctions. But ultimately, they're where they're at because of the government's policies. Finally, according to the Washington Post, and the story about how the government, the president there, wants to just lop some zeros off the currency and thinks that's going to solve any problems whatsoever. They point out about the dollarization plan of the opposition, and it has hit a nerve with the country's impoverished people. In Latin America, Ecuador, Panama, and El Salvador all use the U.S. dollar, constraining budgetary spending and the setting of interest rates while providing monetary stability. Under Falcon's plan, everything from salaries to taxes to food would be priced in dollars, and for a certain period, low-income earners would receive a $25 monthly subsidy through a so-called solidarity card. Quote, the prices of everything are calculated at the rate of the dollar here. The only thing that isn't dollarized is salaries.
Now, this dollarization is basically how the states have to work, too. So you pick your state. We'll call it West Virginia, right? Mm-hmm. West Virginia can't just issue currency to pay its bills. That's the problem. Venezuela can. So if they dollarize their currency, then they have to do like West Virginia, California, New York, and these sorts of things, is come up with a budget and then pay that budget. There's certainly, sort of bookkeeping tricks that states do, and they go into debt and have all kinds of problems and that sort of thing. But it keeps a level of responsibility that isn't there when you can just say, well, we need more money, just make more money.
And that's how they've been doing it.
That's how they've been doing it. Like, that is their solution up to this point for the problem, making more money.
And so Falcon's right. The prices of things are calculated at the rate of the dollar. It's just that they still have all these pesky, Venezuelan bolivar floating around out there, and there's a lot of them. Falcon's dollarization plan, analysts say, may present Venezuela with a bigger fix than Maduro's redenomination. One of the analysts says, quote, one is a superficial makeup-like change. The other is an actual restructuring aimed at stopping inflation. That's not to say dollarization doesn't carry risks. It would bind the hands of the government on monetary policy and would leave Venezuela's economy under the influence of a currency whose value it cannot control. Leidens said, quote, dollarizing is like cutting out an important arm you need, an important tool, in exchange for stopping hyperinflation as fast as possible. It's a debate I wish was happening among academics and not through electoral propaganda.
I don't agree with this assessment. There are many economies that have dollarized, and the reason they do it is so that their people don't have to trust their politicians in that particular area. And I think it's a good idea.
Trust the American politicians, which isn't really any better, but it could be argued that for the moment it's an improvement.
It gets you better results.
For the moment.
If you're running some little banana republic, some little Caribbean island or something like that, I mean, you've got to you just can't be trusted. I mean, generally, that's how it goes. You'd have to build a great deal of trust with folks. People don't trust their governments generally. This is a way to offset some of those trust issues.
Right. Now, this is not necessarily a libertarian economics expert here who's saying that you're cutting off an important arm that you need. And what he's referring to is the ability to inflate the currency.
That's what he's referring to. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's what the governments have.
If you can't do it yourself as an individual, you do not want your government to be able to do it.
Indeed.
Because your government is in all likelihood about as irresponsible as your crazy cousin who's high on meth.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, the U.S. government is a crazy cousin high on meth, but at the very least, it's better than what they currently have in Venezuela, which is an abject mess. I mean, it is just absolutely terrible. People, as you pointed out, Mark, are losing weight every single year. Not because they're exercising real hard and trying to, but simply because they don't have enough food and they can't afford the food, even if they could access the food. But again, it's generally not there. Most of the food is seemingly provided by the black marketplace.
You don't have to just pay for the food. You have to pay in time to get it.
That's
because
correct.
You have to wait in line.
Yeah.
There's bread lines. Again, bread lines brought to you again by socialism.
Yep. Happening all over again here. So if you want to share your thoughts, you're certainly welcome to do so. 855-450 free like freedom. And just imagine what this is going to be like when the deadline approaches. Let's presume Maduro wins and he's going to go ahead and implement this plan. Well, then on June 2nd is when the new bolivars will begin circulating and the old ones with high denominations would then remain valid. So can you imagine the rush of people trying to buy everything with the old ones the week prior to the flip happening? Because you got all these old bolivars that all of a sudden aren't even going to be accepted at retail. But I imagine the government...
I think the crush is already occurring. People aren't holding bolivars.
Well, that much is true, but it'll be an even more desperate last-ditch attempt to get rid of them all, and they'll probably force the retailers to accept them right up until the end. There's more coming up here. Free Talk Live.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
You've heard of Bitcoin Cash, but did you know there's now a Bitcoin Cash wallet? The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com. This is Daryl W. Perry, host of Free Talk Live. This November, I'll be running in the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, and I've accepted a spot on Team Innocence Project because I'm a passionate supporter of their work. Since 1989, 353 people in the United States have been exonerated by DNA testing, including 38 who pled guilty to crimes they did not commit, and 20 of whom served time on death row. The Innocence Project provided direct representation or critical assistance in 180 of these cases. With your help, the Innocence Project can help even more people who have been wrongly convicted. As part of Team Innocence Project, I am raising awareness about wrongful convictions and raising funds to help free the innocent. I've already paid the race registration fees. However, to secure my spot on Team Innocence Project in the New York City Marathon, I need to raise $3,500 by November 1st. You can support the Innocence Project and help me secure my race entry by going to run.freetalklive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Talk Live, dial toll free, bring up what you want. Our number here, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio here tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And coming up, Pornhub versus YouTube. Melanie's got a story about people apparently trying to upload regular videos to the porn sharing platform. But we can talk about that and your calls and thoughts. Certainly welcome. We're going to the phones and to the fun to start things out here. Meatbag is on the line in Salt Lake City. Meatbag, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Melanie, and Mark.
Hey, it's me, Meatbag McMurka, Pirate Party candidate for governor in Utah. And today I want to talk about the world's greatest troll, who is Boston Antifa. And I know you guys have had a few conversations with this guy in the past. Are you aware of how powerful and familiar he is?
Okay, first of all, I don't know if there's just one Antifa person in Boston. I would imagine there's more than one.
Yes. Now, I've listened to you guys for a while, and I remember this guy who was saying he was a member of the Boston Antifa.
Yeah. He sounded like a troll. I mean, I don't think anybody here ever actually believed that he was in Antifa. He sounded like a right-winger who is pretending to be an Antifa.
He's not. He's actually a libertarian. It's funny because he actually got his start years ago. There was this website called 9gag that 4chan people were claiming that 9gag was stealing all their memes, and so this guy went online and said that he was part of the 9gag army, and he was going to declare war on 4chan, and that he would have the whole power of the 9gag army behind him.
Okay.
And so and it actually like sort of went viral. And this Boston Antifa guy later went on PewDiePie and told PewDiePie that he had to. What kind
Hold on
of
a second.
area
Now, wait a
was
minute.
he?
Isn't PewDiePie the video game streamer on YouTube?
Yeah, he went after PewDiePie. And,
Oh, okay.
and
It sounded like you said he went on PewDiePie. I didn't know. Does PewDiePie take calls or something during his show?
No, PewDiePie watches like videos addressed to him. And so this was a video addressed to him, and this guy told PewDiePie that what kind of an Aryan was he if he didn't impregnate his wife as soon as possible.
Well, that's funny. I gotta say.
Well, yeah, PewDiePie never claims to be an Aryan, and because he was in the news on related stuff for that. And how does he know that he's not impregnating his wife as soon as possible?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is that PewDiePie has blonde hair and blue eyes, and so it's like he looks like a stereotypical Aryan.
He's from Scandinavia, isn't he? I believe I've heard
Swedish,
that he is.
yeah.
I don't fear much in life, but I've got to say the idea of just trolling 4chan,
challenging 4chan,
actually made like me physically sort of shiver for a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not scared of much, man. But
it's either them or Anonymous, right? They're both pretty big.
Right. I don't have any particular reason to want to troll Anonymous.
There's a lot of Anonymous on 4chan, I suspect.
Right. There's a bit of crossover there, but no, I wouldn't do that.
Now, Meatbag, I mean, why are we talking about this guy? Is he in the news or something? I mean, why are you even calling about it?
Actually, yes, he did actually make it onto Fox News.
Through trolling?
For what? For being stupid on the internet?
No, it was because he was declaring himself as the leader of Boston Antifa, and that they were talking about. And so it was about Fox News, and he had the most extremist thing. Yeah, I recommend checking it out. Like a Fox News interview with Boston Antifa. It's hilarious.
So you can search. Is that what you can search for to pull it up?
Is there any chance?
Yeah, just Fox News Boston Antifa. It's
any
hilarious.
chance he used his Free Talk Live time to prove his case?
What do you mean?
Well, he was on here claiming to be part of Boston Antifa.
Oh, I see.
Now he's on major media, quote unquote. Claiming to be that. So there you go.
Hey, Meatbag, tell me more about the Pirate Party out in Utah. I mean, that's news to me, and that sounds kind of interesting.
Why are you calling him from Nevada?
He's in Utah.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm actually in Utah. I'm based in Salt Lake City. I'm actually traveling on business in Denver right now. So,
okay.
But the Pirate Party is a party that believes that you should be free to say where your taxes go if you have to pay taxes.
That's better than nothing.
Reasonable. I'm
better than nothing. Yeah.
Now, was this inspired by the party, the Pirate Party of Iceland or Europe or where?
Back in the day, when I started this thing back in 2000 like 12 or something like that. I mean, it was really more or less a joke to get anarcho-capitalist ideas into politics in Utah, and so, but I really never went anywhere with it, and I was really kind of lazy. So I decided I'm gonna, just run for governor under the Pirate Party, and just have that be my thing. Like, if we have to pay taxes, you should be free to say where your taxes go, even if it goes back to yourself.
All right, tell me about running.
I want to throw a big party for Barron Trump. I mean, I figure at the very least, it'll be genuinely fun.
Was that one of his kids?
Yeah.
That's the youngest of his children.
Okay. Anyway, back to the Pirate Party. So tell me more about how is it running for governor in Utah? I mean, can you just tell them I want to be this party, and then they let you on the ballot as PIR, or what's it going to be like?
To be honest, I'm really not sure, and I really don't care.
Well,
it's more or less, I'll talk to people about it and stuff like that.
But what does it take to run? I mean, have you even looked into that? Do you know what it costs? Do you know what you have to file?
No. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of really caring about what the laws are and the rules are.
Well, hey, man, I'm with you on that. I say just ignore the laws and screw them.
Well, I mean, do they have write-ins in your state?
Probably.
I believe so, yeah.
But what I'm saying here is, if you're going to run for a political office, generally you have to care what the rules are because they'll disqualify you right off the bat.
Right, if somebody gives you $1, watch out.
Yeah, you really only have to care if you take money.
Like here in New Hampshire,
assets.
it's a $100 filing fee to run for governor, but that's under if you're a major party. If you're a smaller party, then they're going to require like 13,000 ballot signatures, which of course, is going to take a lot of work to get. So I don't know what they require in Utah, but if you want to do more than just tell people you're running as a Pirate Party or like a write-in candidate and you want to try to get on the ballot, there's probably going to be some hoops that they're going to demand that you jump through. That's all.
Oh yeah, but I've got the whole meatbag army behind me. So.
Well, now that sounds intimidating.
All three of them. Yeah, all three of them. Yeah.
Now, tell me more about the.
Add me to it. It's 4 now.
Is the Pirate Party? Is there a website? Is there a place people could go to learn more about the Pirate Party in Utah?
Yeah, if you to be honest, the Pirate Party of Utah does not at this point have a website, but I do have my own personal website.
And what's that?
Which is meatbagmcmurka.com, like MURKA. Like how rednecks say America.
I love it.
So,
meatbagmcmurka.com. Hey, best of luck with the campaign. Let us know if there's any other interesting developments there with that. And thank you for the call tonight, Meatbag. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. He's probably going to be better than whoever the Libertarians put forward there in Utah.
Who knows?
So you can bring up whatever you want, take control of the airwaves. And I like the Pirate Party idea. I think it's something that we should see more here in the United States. There's not a whole lot of it going on out there. But there is a U.S. Pirate Party. I don't know how many state offices or state versions of it that they have that are, more than a handful of people. This is Free Talk Live. Share your thoughts.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original, most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Tired of being censored by Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon? Well, now you don't have to be. OneWay.com is the free speech and human-friendly social network built just for you. Stop feeding the beast. Every post you make on those evil, anti-human, anti-American perverted sites helps them destroy our families, our country, and our souls. Join One Way today and take back your liberty. Your free speech alternative is waiting for you at OneWay.com. OneWay.com.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too,
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated,
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free here, bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Skype username LRN.FM, so feel free to connect with us there if you like. And you can connect with Melanie, and she will help you with your taxes. But you got to pay her because she's a busy lady. And she has a lot of people who have come on board with her tax and accounting and bookkeeping service. And you can get in touch with her directly by going to tax.freetalklive.com. We're coming down to the wire here, Melanie. Of course, in the United States, for listeners that might be outside of the U.S., the 15th of April is a big day, a big due date for people filing taxes. Although there are extensions and things like that that people can receive. If somebody is dragging their feet, if they haven't done anything yet regarding filing taxes, is it too late to get in touch with you?
No, we got a little over 2 weeks. So
are you used to procrastinators? Or do they tend to be the bulk of the people that are you going to get a huge rush in the next 2 weeks, or is it not that way?
I don't know. Most people are usually at the very beginning or at the very end because either you're getting money back or you owe money, right?
I see.
So that's kind of how that works.
Yeah, you don't want to rush off to give them a check.
And this is your first time really being full on for yourself. Like, you've worked for companies in the past, and you left your corporate job toward the end of last year, I think it was, or maybe at the end of the summer.
Was that 2 years ago? I don't know, 2 years ago or last year or something like that.
I think it was last year because we kind of teamed up with you to help promote what you were doing because you were officially jumping in full on, into your own thing. So this is your first time, I think, going through a tax season where you're not working for somebody else, right? Where you're just doing people's individual work.
Well, I've done kind of on the side stuff before. I think last year I was just. I feel like last year I was just doing this, and then I got the job during the summer. But yeah.
So now you're going through this, and it is not too late to get in touch with Melanie. She can help you whether you've got a small business or it's just your own personal taxes.
And you're a bit of a crypto specialist too. You've had to deal with that quite a bit, and so you understand people who have to deal with taxes surrounding that, and
I have plenty of that.
So yeah, you need an expert. You need an anarchist as your accountant, as your tax expert. She can help you with that. That's what she is into. She's into the numbers and reading codes and things like that. So she can assist. It's not too late to get in touch. Go to tax.freetalklive.com, tax.freetalklive.com, and that'll take you right over to Melanie's website. And probably should do it sooner rather than later. Let's go to the phones here and to the fun. Dave is on the line in New York. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Dave.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm thinking about quitting Instacart and going for a different job.
Okay, wait, can you do it in the opposite order, please?
Hold on. So let's update our listeners here briefly. Dave, you are somebody who has called this show over the years. Usually you're very angry. You don't sound that angry today, so that's nice to hear. It's a bit of a refreshing change. But normally you don't have a job, but recently you did get a job. with what they call Instacart. Now, this appears to be, from what you described it as, is like the Uber of grocery shopping, meaning that somebody would contact this Instacart company, put together some sort of a grocery order, and then they would get in touch with you as one of their drivers, and you would go shop the order and then take the food to the customer, right?
Yeah, something like that. But Instacart does
Something
not
like
pay
that.
Something
by
like
the
that or that?
hour.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
They pay you by the job.
They don't. Yeah, they pay you by the job. They pay you by commission. I don't want to be paid by the commission, and sometimes there's days and hours available, and sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
I want something where I can go to, like every day or something. You know, and maybe
you want
have
a
weekends
job
off.
like a regular lazy job where you can just do as little work as you possibly can and get paid hourly for it, right?
Well, okay, Instacart and Uber and all that kind of stuff isn't really self-employment. So if you're going to, it's kind of the
It's not
worst of
employment,
world.
though.
It's kind of the worst of both worlds. If you're going to not be in charge of the thing, then you're going to want to get paid hourly, not by what your boss thinks they produced. Because then you're getting paid by things you can't control. You're not in charge of advertising, but you're getting paid
look,
based on their advertising.
Dave doesn't want to work. He wants
I
a
don't
job.
want a lazy job.
No? What do you want to do?
Because you said, you think about lazy. No. I'm not lazy. I don't want a lazy job.
Okay.
I want to work like maybe doing auto parts, or maybe working at a deli, or maybe working for a dealership. Doing something constructive. So that because Instacart isn't really the job for me. They pay by commission or something. I want something where I'm paid by the hour.
Well, let me ask you this, Dave.
Let
me ask you this: how many delis, auto part dealers, and whatever else you said did you talk to today about working for them?
I haven't talked to any of them today because I'm in a program.
Why the
right
hell
now,
are you calling
so-
me then?
You're in a program? What do you
Yes,
mean?
I'm in a program.
What kind of program?
A program to help people get better and so on and so forth. But
Well, wait a minute. How much of the day are you in this program for?
From 9:45 until 2, 2:15, 2:20. That kind of
So
thing.
you've
It's
got
a
at
pretty
least
serious program.
You've got
Are
at
they
least,
paying you?
The what?
Are they paying you?
No, they don't pay me. No.
Is it like community service for sentence or something?
It sounds like something where you have to be. So but that still gives you time in the afternoon, if not in the morning, to go to places.
Yeah, 3
and I mean,
hours.
it's not like you want to get paid. That's understandable as long as you still want to work. Not as long. You should also still want to work, but yeah, you want to get paid, and that's completely understandable. Although I would say, it's probably a really bad idea if you're going to be, and you kind of are a quasi-public figure, people can find you to be announcing who your employer is, even if you're not talking about them negatively, but definitely if you're talking about them negatively on the air.
Yeah, anybody
and I
that
think that you
Googles-
have some experience with that and
Right.
why that's a bad idea.
Good point. Most job
No,
applicants
no,
are going to
no,
get
what?
Googled these days, and anybody that Googles your name, Dave Grady, is going to find out that you've got a real angry internet demeanor, that you've been pretty nasty to people online. You think that's going to hurt your chances?
Well, because people like to egg me on, kind of like
You always blame it on other people.
Right, but Dave, a lot of the time people will overlook that. I mean, I've had jobs. I've had jobs after I've been on this show. A lot of the time people will overlook that as long as you don't put their name in it. So as long as you're not on the air talking about Instacart or Hertz or whoever else, some jobs aren't going to overlook that, but some of them will. You just kind of have to leave their name out of it.
Now, Dave, tell me a little bit more. We'll talk more about your job prospects here in a moment, but I just am curious to know more about the program that you're in. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Like I said, it's a program to help people get better and so on and so forth.
What kind of better?
It sounds like he doesn't want to talk about
Well,
it.
I want to know. I want to know. We got to know everything if we're going to be able to help Dave. So
I don't think.
really
I think we're
true.
well beyond that.
we
Go
need
ahead,
to
Dave.
know what's going on in Dave's life so we can give Dave the best advice we possibly can. Now, Dave, what is this program called? Is there a name for it?
Yeah, it's pros, and there's only one person who can give me really, really good sound advice, and that guy's name is Tristan Pipo.
I don't know who that is.
Why have you called me
it's
and
a friend
not
of mine.
Tristan?
The what?
Why did you call me and not Tristan?
Because I don't have this phone number. I don't have this phone number,
Oh, that's
and it
too
seems
bad.
like you guys are saying.
Well, we're going to do our best to fill in for Tristan here. Now, Dave, tell me, what was the name of the program again? Pros? How do you spell that?
just the way it
Spell
sounds.
it. P-R-O-S or P-R-O-S-E?
Wait a minute. Can you spell pros, Dave?
You just spelled it right out.
Okay, so it's one of those two. Now, what does it stand for? It's probably an acronym, right? What does PROS stand for?
It's a program that I don't want to get fully into it, but I'm looking for.
We just told him not to drop names on the radio.
I don't care.
Or at least I did.
you told him.
You can listen to Melanie if you want. But what I want to know is...
He clearly does not want to tell you.
Was this a court-ordered program?
Just like Mark said, he clearly doesn't want to tell you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. What I would recommend you do is what Mark suggested, and that is get out there, hit the streets, and start putting in applications at various
Once you do
places.
get a job, Dave, you're going to really have to be on your best behavior. It's I've noted that it's difficult for you to keep your tongue under control, and you've got to do that when you're making people's deli sandwiches or delivering their auto parts. You can't just cuss out one of their customers because they made you grumpy.
Free Talk Live. Thanks for the call, Dave.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Core and your Bitcoin Cash. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. We invite you to take control of the airwaves. Toll free, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
One of the things that has sort of been a topic of late has been an exodus of people from monster corporate internet platforms like Facebook. In fact, Shire Dude recently posted on the Free Talk Live forums, on one of the other forums there, about leaving Facebook, about being inspired to leave and find other options. And he said that Facebook, that he believes, has damaged the libertarian movement, and that he's with me on the idea of leaving. You
believe that too, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. And that he's with me on the idea of leaving, but he's proposing going to another platform.
MeWe?
MeWe.
Yeah,
thing.
Everybody's going over to MeWe, but
I just don't understand.
I think they banned,
because everyone's going to magically act different if it's a different website.
Right. I think MeWe banned gun forums today, as I saw something like that.
Oh, yeah. And didn't they claim to be freedom of speech or whatever?
Well, sure, until it's something they don't want to hear.
Right. So, I mean, that's...
Leave it to the libertarians to find out their...
push the boundaries.
Find out the boundaries.
Right.
That wasn't a very far boundary.
No, well.
No. So, it was my response was, well, what is the purpose of replacing one terrible platform with another platform that's trying to ape that platform, when we can have decentralized options, when we can have open source solutions? We at the very least have options that aren't run by these insane, government connected mega corporations.
I mean, can you really have an open source website? I mean, someone's hosting the website, someone's paying for the website upkeep.
The code is what would be open source. So for people that want to run a social networking site, there actually is one out there, and I'm sorry, I forget what it's called. But there's a couple of them out there. There's one of them that we've actually tried where you can just download your own version of a social networking site. It's open source, meaning anybody can read the code that behind it, and you can install it on your own server. And then you can have your own social networking site that's not hovered over by anybody that's in charge of it except for you. In that particular case. But again, why bother with that? We actually have installed one of those on our server just to test it out and see what it was like. It was like, yep, this is social networking. It's got the groups. It's got the, the chat. It's got the messaging. It looks like Facebook kind of. And
close. Yeah.
And, but why bother? Facebook has not worked, and it hasn't worked for years.
People obviously are interested in Facebook.
Right?
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean,
clearly. They don't know anything else. Many of them don't even remember what forums were. They didn't even have access to a forum. They're so young or whatever. They weren't even around when that existed.
Facebook is slicker than forums. You don't have to refresh, and
you don't have to refresh with newer forums. Mark, I see you haven't used the Free Talk Live forum because
I've used it. Sure.
Yeah, the messages just pop right on in there, so it's not the same as the old.
I don't hang out on there. I don't keep a page open all the time and hang out on it. I'd rather use the Discord and just chat with people in the room.
And Discord is a fine chat option. You can go to discord.lrn.fm, but like every other chat room, it doesn't have any organization to it. So unlike with a forum where you can see what the topics are and you can click on the topics that are interesting to you. So my point here is, don't replace Facebook with some other social networking site. Find other tools that accomplish what you were doing or attempting to do in Facebook, and I would say most people failing to do with Facebook, which would be in the case of libertarians, some sort of organizing, some kind of activism.
Right, but no other type of website. And, if there's problems with Facebook, that's fine. but nothing other than a social media website is going to give me access to a broad group of people.
I would say that this sounds like
This is the theory
This
of
is the talk of addicts, right?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, you can't. I can't drink very well, so you shouldn't be having alcohol. Well, no, Facebook is a product that does some things.
It doesn't.
You should.
It does some things well, but it doesn't do what she's saying.
It doesn't do what you want to do, but that's fine. So then you just don't use social media.
Right, but what you said is demonstrably false. This is the appeal, the allure of Facebook is that, oh, well, there's all these people there. I want to reach people. That's where they are. But Facebook cripples you. It
On
prevents
purpose,
you
yeah.
from reaching those people. So you have the illusion of, oh, there's all these billions of users on Facebook.
Okay, well,
Look
no,
at all these
it's
people.
not going to give me an audience of 7 billion people. That's
No,
ridiculous.
it won't even give you an audience of 1,000 people. You can go into a group with 1,000 users, post a message, and you'll be lucky if 50 of them see it. You'll be lucky. If you have a Facebook page, as we do with Free Talk Live, with what was the last check? 90,000 or something like that?
About 91,000.
91,000 likes. If you post a whatever update or some kind of link to something there, Mark, what's the typical on something that doesn't catch fire or whatever? What's the typical view count?
2,000?
Okay, so pages work differently, first of all. And so you're not telling me that they don't give me an audience. You're telling me that they don't give me as much of an audience as you would like. And that isn't
Or
really
as they pretend
negating.
to give
Okay,
you.
I don't trust what Facebook says.
Yeah.
That's not really negating the fact that they give me a broad audience. And if I just open up a libertarian forum, that has a use also. But that's not necessarily going to pull in people who have nothing to do with libertarianism and aren't looking for it.
So you're using Facebook to recruit people to libertarianism, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. For me, Facebook was a way to try to keep in touch with people, to attempt to create events for people to be aware of what's happening and potentially go to those things.
Well,
in
Facebook
real life.
isn't good for that.
No, it certainly
was
is
at
not.
one time. I feel like they've made it less good for that over time. I feel like that in the past, Facebook was a decent way of creating an event.
Organizing people to go to an event.
But now,
not so much.
If you want people to go or see something on Facebook, Facebook wants you to pay them to reach those people.
Right. I think what you should do is find some event organizing software that works well with people, and then use Facebook as a way to promote that, along with other means to promote things. I know. Look, I get it. Facebook is a time sink.
It's
to
awful.
me.
Well,
And that's what's bad about it.
Facebook is an advertising tool. So
Yes, and you're
if
the
you
product.
have people
Yeah.
who already know what libertarianism is and want to be there, then they should go to whatever site for calendars or forums or whatever. You shouldn't have
They
to
should, but they
advertise
don't.
to the people who you've already reached. That doesn't make any sense. That's like sending out new ads
But
to your
that's the
email
problem.
list. That's silly.
That's the problem, though, is Facebook wants you to pay to advertise the people you've
Okay, but that's not what Facebook
reached.
is for. Even if they're advertising it as that use, then they're just
Facebook
lying.
is for all kinds of
But
things,
that's-
but you have to pay them to make it useful.
Right, but
in
it
that way.
doesn't perform the function you want. So then
The
stop trying to use it for that
Oh,
function.
I stopped.
The
months ago.
algorithm for the page and for an event is different than the algorithm for your personal page. So your
It's all
personal
crap.
page. I'm not saying I'm not saying it is getting. It's obviously not what you want, right? So don't
Yeah.
use it to.
I don't.
Don't use it to fail. You do use it. You use it every time.
No,
You've
I
got the
don't.
most sanctimonious little
No,
posting.
sir. I do not use
you
Facebook.
do use it. I am
use
on
it once
Facebook and
once a
I
week
see
for
your
5
crap constantly.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
No.
You post
Stuff
to
gets
Facebook
posted from your
through
page.
another piece of software. Don't act like you're not using Facebook. You're using it all the time. It
No,
says,
I'm
my
not
name's
using
Ian
Facebook."
and I don't use Facebook anymore, but here's a little message from you from on high where we don't use this crap anymore,
No.
but we do. So, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, Ian.
Well, that's because apparently you don't know how to read. So what it says is it's an auto post from Twitter, so it's not using Facebook.
Okay,
it is
but
me
you're still
using
using
Twitter.
Facebook as a platform.
No,
Yes.
actually, it is a auto post from Twitter to let people
That you've
know
connected to Facebook.
that. Yeah, that's right.
So you're using Facebook.
I am personally not using Facebook except for 5 minutes per week when I go and I add new amplifiers to the AMP group. That's it. The point of that is, Mark, if you were to actually read and not be nasty about it, is to say to people, hey, I'm not here. So basically, if you respond, you're not going to be seen.
I know.
If you want to see if you want to, actually respond to me, then there are other places that you can go and do that. I'm posting this here so people know where to find me.
So you're using Facebook as an advertising tool, which is the only thing that Facebook is good for.
And it's not good for that. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Melanie. I'm just doing that for the people who are friends of mine who, want to see what's going on and have not yet left Facebook.
But you're still
in
saying
an attempt
that
to encourage them to leave.
You are utilizing Facebook to reach people to give them information.
Yes, but
I'm
not
looking at your
effectively.
posts.
Okay, that's what you use. That's what
Nobody
you use Facebook
likes
for.
your posts anymore.
Good. That means they've learned that I'm not there anymore.
Well, they clearly have.
That's the point. But anyway, the toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. I'm using Facebook as a way to let people know.
Now you're using Facebook. You're not. Which is it?
To let people know where they can find
Facebook?
my posts. But I personally spend no time on Facebook because it's a big time sink. More coming up here. It's Free
You're an
Talk
addict.
Live.
You can't control it.
Oh, I can control it. I'm doing fine, actually. More coming up. Hour number 3 is on the way.
Message and data rates may apply.
Remembering when to change your fridge filter is a hassle. Remembering the right filter is almost impossible. So at Filters Fast, we have some good advice. Forget it. Instead, remember this. Text BEST 33 to 443-443 and check fridge filters off your to-do list forever. Get it all taken care of for a fraction of big box store prices with a Filters Fast brand filter. To see how much you can save, plus get free shipping, text BEST 33 to 443-443. With a huge range of brand name filters available, Filters Fast is America's #1 online filtration company. And you can get a Filters Fast brand filter for a fraction of the price, delivered to your door every time you need it. No need to remember. It's not a matter of if you need a fridge filter. Why not text to get it taken care of? To see how much you can save and get free shipping, text BEST 33 to 443-443. That's BEST 33 to 443-443.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, March 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.63 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,348 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,132. Antiwar.com reports a week after taking the district capital, the Turkish military has issued a statement claiming full military control over Syria's entire Afrin district. The Kurdish district was first invaded back in January with an eye towards expelling the Kurds from border areas. The fall of Afrin city last week was effectively the end of the fighting, though Turkish forces still had to make their way through a few scattered villages in the district's south and have also faced some resistance from Kurdish YPG forces. Turkish officials have indicated that they are moving eastward from Afrin Afrin attacking the town of Tel Rifat. This is likely an effort to temporarily delay the confrontation with the U.S. over the city of Manbij. Manbij is Kurdish-held with a U.S. military presence, and Turkey had previously said it would be the next target after Afrin. Months of Turkish strikes appear to have had some serious impact on life in Afrin, as Turkey reported they've discovered a hidden underground hospital in Afrin. The site contained a lot of U.S.-provided medical aid and YPG uniforms, leading Turkey to conclude the hospital was treating Turkish terrorists.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpendaBit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendaBit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spendabit.co.
UPI reports U.S. and foreign law enforcement agencies will now have easier access to Americans' electronic communications after news that a provision was included in the federal spending bill. The Clarifying Overseas Use of Data Act, also known as the CLOUD Act, gives law enforcement access to the contents of a wire or electronic communication and any record of any information if those contents are stored in servers overseas, regardless of the privacy laws of that country. In addition, the CLOUD Act allows the President of the United States to enter into agreements with other countries to share private electronic communications and data of individuals regardless of the privacy laws of each country. The sponsors of the bill, Senators Orrin Hatch, Sheldon Whitehouse, Chris Coons, and Lindsey Graham, said it also allows laws to catch up with technology. Hatch said in a statement last month, the CLOUD Act bridges the divide that sometimes exists between law enforcement and the tech sector by giving law enforcement the tools it needs to access data throughout the world, while at the same time creating a common sense framework to encourage international cooperation to resolve conflicts of law. The bill also received praise from Microsoft President Brad Smith, who said it creates a modern legal framework for how law enforcement agencies can access data across borders. But critics of the CLOUD Act say it legalizes erosion of privacy rights. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital privacy organization, says people's private emails, social media chats, and other online communications will be open to foreign law enforcement without a warrant and with few restrictions on using and sharing your information. The EFF also says the bill will allow U.S. privacy laws to be bypassed on U.S. soil. Senators Ron Wyden and Rand Paul attempted to get that provision an individual hearing and subsequent vote, saying it places far too much power in the president's hands and denies Congress its critical oversight role, but their request was denied.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports fewer than half of Americans trust Facebook to obey U.S. privacy laws, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Sunday, illustrating the challenge facing the social media network after a scandal over its handling of personal information. The poll, taken Wednesday through Friday, also found that fewer Americans trust Facebook than other tech companies that gather user data, such as Apple, Alphabet Incorporated's Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Yahoo. Some 41% of Americans trust Facebook to obey laws that protect their personal information, compared to 66% who say they trust Amazon, 62% who trust Google, 60% who trust Microsoft, and 47% who trust Yahoo. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
The only nation where this regularly happens concludes that there's no way to prevent this. A college rape victim is pretty thrilled about recounting her assault to a faculty committee, and the nation's depressed individuals march on the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Onion Week in Review. Secretary of Veterans Affairs Eric Shinseki announced plans this week to improve healthcare for American veterans with a new $500 million state-of-the-art waiting room. The 150,000 square foot complex will reportedly feature a wide selection of magazines, 2 water coolers, and receptionists who will immediately give veterans vague answers about how long they can expect to sit there before receiving inadequate healthcare. And in this week's commentary, a local man finds owning a cat is a great way to meet women who magically appear in your living room. In other news, a new study finds employee morale drastically improves after watching a coworker throw a fit. A wise oracle proclaims to all at a barbecue that he felt a raindrop. and an elderly man is hailed as alert.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here at 855-450 free like freedom. Bring up whatever is on your mind. 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio here tonight, you've got Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And it was 2-on-1 in the last segment. I expect it will continue to be 2-on-1 here because you guys are the ones who are acting like addicts. You're the ones who are defending being on Facebook by attacking me because you're jealous that I was able to leave Facebook.
I'm only attacking you for claiming that you're not using Facebook.
Yes, I am not using Facebook except for maybe 5 minutes a week.
Except for, okay.
Yeah, right, because I don't want to bother Mark, who basically can't do anything technically oriented, with going and adding whatever new amplifiers we have. In fact, I didn't even use Facebook this weekend for that because we didn't have any new amplifiers. But if we do have a new Free Talk Live
that
amplifier,
in of itself is a problem.
Okay, so if you would have said that you use Facebook less or that you use Facebook very little, that's fine. But it is clearly
I'm down
false that you don't use
99.9% on
Look,
my use of Facebook.
You don't have to log on to Facebook to use Facebook. You're using a program that continues to use your profile.
Yeah.
You haven't eliminated your Facebook profile.
No, I have not.
And
that's because I need to be able to go into that group once a week and add people to it
through that profile. Things, and I think that's fine. I mean, you're using Facebook as you should. You are not interacting with trolls, right? Like
I'm
if you
not
find
scrolling either, which is one of the big time sinks on Facebook. Every time I see somebody
no one
on
said you're
Facebook,
using every single feature on Facebook.
every time that's not. I mean, look. Every time I see somebody on Facebook, they're almost always scrolling. Every time.
Yeah.
If I just walk by somebody on their phone, if I walk by somebody on their laptop, and I just happen to notice, well, what's the website they're on? It's Facebook, and they're scrolling.
Is that somehow worse than playing Tetris on your phone or Angry Birds
If that's how you want to
staring
spend
into space?
No, if you want to
It's
spend
not like these people would be curing cancer if not for Facebook.
They might be doing something more productive. You're certainly right that if you're spending your leisure time watching Facebook versus watching television, it's just one thing versus another. But if you want to get more things done, well, guess what? Every amount of time you're spending watching television or watching Facebook is time you could be doing things that are more productive. I've gotten more done since I've left Facebook, and I never did it with the intention of trying to get other people to leave, with the exception of, hey, if you want to get in touch with me, you can't do it through this platform anymore, so you'll have to leave if you want to get in touch with me. Not that I think I'm that important, but I did get a comment from somebody. I won't say who it is, but he's a person who moved up to New Hampshire for the Liberty migration, and he says, thanks to people like you, I've been inspired
people like you,
because I'm not the only one. He says he's been inspired to remove the Facebook app from his phone and leave most of the groups that he was in. I'm on Facebook a lot less now.
Yep.
And he feels good about that.
Great.
So, good for him. I'm glad to hear it, and I'm glad that other people are leaving that platform. I, don't like hearing that they're just moving over to a different ape of, a copycat or whatever of Facebook. But ultimately, I think it's a good thing that people are at the very least thinking about leaving and maybe spending less time there. In fact, Elon Musk is among those. He apparently was not aware, though, when he left, that his company SpaceX had a Facebook page. The SpaceX and Tesla CEO has responded to a comment on Twitter calling for him to take down the SpaceX, Tesla, and Elon Musk official pages in support of the Delete Facebook movement, by first acknowledging that he didn't know one existed and then following up with promises that he would indeed take them down. And then, as of a few days ago, the SpaceX Facebook page was gone. I don't know if they've brought it back since then, but as of the time of this story from TechCrunch.com, it was gone. As of the publishing, going to any of the pages directs you to a message saying, sorry, this content isn't available right now. That's a quick turnaround, since Musk seems to have only found out those pages existed about 20 minutes prior to his taking them all offline. He also responded to another comment on Twitter regarding his own and his company's prolific use of Instagram, which is, of course, owned by Facebook. The prolific entrepreneur noted that his Instagram was borderline since Facebook's influence is slowly creeping in, but it seems like he's okay with maintaining that presence for now. Prior to their deletion, both the SpaceX and Tesla pages had over 2.6 million likes and follows and super high engagement rates. You have to wonder whether Musk's social media management employees cried a little when they went down. But apparently, Musk also deleted his personal Facebook, which is why these other pages went down as part of this whole delete Facebook campaign. And I got to say, I'm not really familiar with the campaign, but I am glad to hear that that it exists, because I think Facebook is a big time sink for people, which, Mark, you did admit to in the last segment. You did admit that it was a time sink.
It is a time sink. I use it to promote Free Talk Live. I think that this I'm really ambivalent on this. Like, just really schizophrenic in my thoughts on this. In one hand, I'm like, why do I care?
Well, because we can't prove that Facebook has ever did anything to send new listeners to the podcast.
Has ever driven one single download to the show.
It probably has driven one, but
it certainly
nothing
has
measurable.
Driven one. But it doesn't seem to change anything. When people get on Facebook, they seem to stay on Facebook. And
right, if you engage them, you're just keeping them on Facebook.
Right, I'm a content generator. I am an unpaid voluntary content generator for the world's largest media company.
The idea, and we've heard this in the like the radio industry conferences that we go to. The idea is you're supposed to engage with your listeners, right? So apparently being on 3 hours a day isn't enough engagement, because if somebody wants to engage with us, all they have to do is call in right now, but we have 0 callers on the line, so we're just yakking about Facebook here. We've got other topics to discuss, including Pornhub coming up here. But if you want to interact, then you certainly can. But the idea is you want to interact with them where they are, right? They're posting on this social media platform, so you're supposed to be there to interact with them. But how do we even know these people are listeners? A lot of the folks who have followed our page or like our page saw something at some point from the page that they liked. So they clicked over and they hit like on the page. It might have been because they liked some witty meme that got posted, or some video of whatever it was, some kind of libertarian thing. They liked that. So they liked our page. How many of them even know that Free Talk Live is a talk radio show? How many of the 90,000 people who've liked the page have ever gone to listen to 10 minutes of the show, let alone a full show? How many of them have ever subscribed to the podcast feed? So what's the value of getting on a Facebook page and interacting with people who you don't even know are listeners of the show? I guess the idea is that maybe they'll listen, but again, we can't really prove that they ever have.
Okay, and so that might not be a good marketing technique for your particular product. That doesn't mean that it's not a good marketing technique for any product, including ideas as products.
Well, yeah, you think that you can go to Facebook and convert people to libertarianism, so I say have at it, man. If that's what your hobby is.
God, I mean,
God has bless you.
I'd rather start up the hobby of chewing tinfoil and shoving bamboos shoots underneath my fingernails.
But that's not going to accomplish anything.
Everybody's got to have
Neither is talking to people about libertarianism on Facebook.
She claims that she learned about. Didn't you learn about freedom from some social bookmark thing, or no?
I
feel like you have some kind of success story.
Site, I mean, I was converted on the internet, obviously. I was living in Louisiana.
That's what I meant.
I wasn't converted on Facebook,
Not Facebook.
Specifically.
But didn't you have like some kind of success story where you converted somebody?
I've never taken somebody from statist to anarchist where I am, but I've definitely
not generally a jump somebody can make.
Yeah,
immediately.
I've definitely moved people along that
Okay,
line.
so you've had enough positive
and that's what I know about. Like, everybody who you help doesn't necessarily call you up and be like, "Hey,
thank you." Yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. But like, I know about the ones I know about, and given the platforms I have access to, it is a good option for me. If I had access to bigger and better platforms, it might not be. It's just
you do have access to a bigger platform.
I can tell you this: if it comes down to making your point, posting on Facebook compared to calling into Free Talk Live, you're a fool to post on Facebook.
You're going to hit way more people listening to this show if you
for
call
the time investment of say 10 minutes of waiting on the line, getting screened, and all that other stuff. You'll be able to reach potentially hundreds of thousands of people.
Yep.
For Whereas on your Facebook page, you post and then
Good luck
a dozen people see it. One of them calls you a douche and you're out of there, right?
Right. We're going to continue here in moments. 855 450 free like freedom. 855 450 3733. You can bring up anything that you want. And then, are people actually moving from YouTube to Pornhub? Melanie's going to tell us about that coming up on Free Talk Live.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the Crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The Crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the Crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the Crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Cash. It's perfect for beginners, and the Bitcoin.com wallet makes using and holding Bitcoins easy. No logins are required. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Juicy Juice, 100% juice, providing a full serving of fruit in every 4 ounces. Visit us at juicyjuice.com. When it comes to nutrition, kids need both fruits and vegetables every day to stay healthy and grow. For the ideal mix, your kid should have at least 1.5 cups of any veggie or 100% veggie juice, and 1 cup of any fruit or 100% fruit juice a day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can dial in here. The toll-free number for you is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. If you want to reach people with the ideas of liberty, Facebook probably ain't going to cut it, but Liberty stickers can help you, especially if you drive, because you can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, and people love to read them. You know that. Go to libertystickers.com, where you can check out a vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages at libertystickers.com. The nice thing about libertystickers.com is, unlike Facebook or some other crappy social media site, you don't have to hear what people think back. They can think whatever they want, unless they shout it out their window at you, which is pretty rare. You just kind of let them know what you think. It's a very one-way conversation with libertystickers.com. As we continue here, your calls and thoughts certainly welcome. We're talking about some people leaving Facebook in a delete Facebook campaign, even Elon Musk deleting his own pages and profile from Facebook. Let's go to your calls and thoughts. We got Scott. He's in Bullhead City, Arizona. Scott, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I want to say hi to Melanie. I made her blush last time with my comment about her beautiful radio voice.
That is awfully sweet.
Melanie.
What were you calling about tonight, though?
I wanted to say I was coming back on a road trip from California at Amboy, and there's Mad Mike Hughes in his rocket shooting off for the second time, and I was a witness to history.
You actually saw this rocket guy? Was that the dude who said he was a flat earther and he wanted to prove his theory?
Yes, and he went up 1,875 feet, and then he had a malfunction, and he floated back to Earth. I just happened to be driving on Route 66. I want
and you
all
saw
of
it. You saw it happen.
I want all of
Yeah, interesting how people who don't know science at all would make a faulty rocket. Nobody saw that coming.
Well, I mean, we don't know what level of scientific knowledge he had, because he was
Yes,
working...
we do, because he was a flat earther.
Well, now, wait a minute. He was working with like some kind of rocket company in order to do this, and it's just only a matter of...
I'm delighted the man survived the experience.
I'm surprised he survived the experience.
And he's clearly brave, and it's obvious
There's
that
a
bravery
fine line
and
between bravery and stupidity, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could put this out over the airwaves.
That's all it took.
It's all over the internet. And I just happened to be driving by. I told my friend, pull over. Look at all the cameras. What are they doing? And,
wow.
And there was the rocket, and it took off.
So this happened in Bullhead City? Where was it when this...
No, it's in Amboy.
Where's that?
Amboy, California, on Route 66.
So it's down in the southeastern corner of California near the state border?
Near Needles,
Gotcha.
where I'm talking to you from K-Talks Radio.
And thank you for the call tonight, Scott. I appreciate hearing from you. So, yeah, we talked about that guy, Mad Mike Hughes. What was it, over the summer or something? Several months ago, it seems like, at this point, when he had initially, or maybe a few months ago, he had initially planned to do the rocket launch, and the city, in that case that he had initially planned to do it in, said, no, you can't do that, not here. And
we don't want to deal with you.
So maybe he found some place where he could go and do it, or maybe he just went and did it without announcing it. I don't know. We stopped following the case. We hadn't heard anything about it until the headlines just recently that he had accomplished this rocket launch. Do you think that he proved it to himself that the Earth is flat?
I don't think he needed proving to himself.
I don't really care. I just hope he leaves people alone and goes away.
Well, I imagine he's going to be working on his next rocket. But I have not read any of the post-Rocketeer interviews in that case. So if you've got more you want to share, you're welcome to join us. Let's go, in the meantime, to Frederick in Tennessee, watching us on Twitch at twitch.lrn.fm. Hello, Frederick.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you're on the radio. Go ahead with your thoughts.
So I'm actually calling in and talk about obesity in America. We got all these ads on TV about fast food, such as McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, Melanie must know about this. fuck niggers.
You can't say that on the radio. We pretty much knew that was coming because you're predictable. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've also got Skype at Skype username LRN.FM, just for people who don't know.
For the kids out there that have never really grown up with radio, don't understand what radio is, we got a thing called a dump machine. This show, when we say it's live, what we mean is it's 7 seconds delayed. And if you come on the air and you use the N-word, or you use the F-word, or if you use them together, we can just dump you right out. We could dump you out if you use any word, if we choose to, but those are definitely part of the formula that we employ this dump machine. So now you know, and I understand you're used to the internet. You're used to trolling around 4chan and, extolling Hitler or trying to convince Africans that Ebola is a goddess that Americans worship, or whatever it is that you do on the internet to create havoc and basically... you're just waiting for the time that you actually enter productive adulthood, right? And hopefully you don't end up in jail or completely useless in life.
I think 1 out of 4 Twitch calls is actually really good. Like, we've had some really good, thoughtful callers call from our Twitch audience, but probably 3 out of 4 of them are just people trying to say the N-word on the radio, which is really lame. I mean, we've had some decent crank calls over the years, but yours suck.
You can crank this show.
Yeah.
Please crank the show. Be funny, be witty, but
that just doesn't cut it.
Using the F word, using the N word, you can't do it.
I mean, is that really going to be your biggest achievement in life, even if you didn't pull it off? Like, I said a curse word on the radio.
It might have been.
It's your biggest achievement for the day. I mean, really. Okay, so you've managed to dial a phone and manipulate your vocal cords. Congratulations. A bowel movement is more productive.
Also, the only people who actually heard what you had to say were the other trolls listening on Twitch. So, congratulations, all 12 or however many people are watching on Twitch right now heard you say that. But nobody else in the radio audience or the internet audience, because we also now have a dump machine here in the studio that is protecting the internet feeds as well from that. So the only completely live, unprotected feed would be Twitch. So wow, congratulations! Look what you've accomplished. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's see here. So we were talking about the massive, or I don't know how massive it is, but people are at the very least talking about leaving Facebook. I don't know how many of them actually are leaving Facebook, but apparently some people are going to a different platform, and I'd like to invite people to check out some of the alternatives, because you don't know what you're missing unless you go and look and see what it is. Check out the Free Talk Live forum. You go to forum.freetalklive.com. And it is free, of course, and it's not advertiser, they're not going to be selling anything to advertisers there. There are no ads on the Free Talk Live forum. You just go to forum.freetalklive.com. It's part of the Shire forums. It's a great way to communicate with other Free Talk Live listeners and have your conversations organized and actually searchable, because anybody who's ever tried to search Facebook groups knows how miserable of an experience that is. And of course, you can't search across multiple groups. It's an impossible thing on Facebook. But you can search across multiple subgenres in the forum. That's no problem. Head over to forum.freetalklive.com and check out our Discord for live chat anytime over at discord.lrn.fm. We got more coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I'm here to tell you about GCNtelecare.com, a team of board-certified doctors assisting you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Within 15 minutes of registration, care your family can afford. Revolutionizing the healthcare industry, virtual consulting providing diagnosis of non-emergency medical issues by phone or secure video on computer or smart mobile devices. GCNtelecare.com. Virtual care anywhere.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Free Talk Live.
The town wants him to stop.
So he's charged with a misdemeanor and could spend 6 months in jail. 71 years old.
Nice folks there.
He's
Wouldn't let
blind. That's his source of living.
blind old man sell some firewood out of his front yard. Nice.
So now you're looking at having to go out, get a firewood permit, which is going to cost you X amount of dollars a year, and who knows how much research to try and figure out how to get the permit.
Just doing whatever they can to stop industry.
Yeah, then you have to go and get your education so you can actually run the saw, and then you have to get a variance on your property so you can actually sell the firewood from your property. Oh, and don't forget, if you have a storefront, then you have to pay, what, $500, $600, $700 a month in rent, maybe $4,000 a month in rent, depending on what city you live in.
Gotta have an occupational license, too.
Aggression like this by these government people happens all across the country, and you have to ask, how much more are you willing to put up with before you finally say no?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Our number, if you want to join us here, 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. Skype username is LRN.FM. We've got also the Discord on-air call-in line over at discord.lrn.fm, which, as we were mentioning before, alternatives to Facebook. Facebook is a terrible platform for actually reaching people, which is what it was supposed to be. And we've been talking about people who've been leaving Facebook, including Elon Musk, in a delete Facebook campaign. You're certainly welcome to comment, and if we get a chance, we're going to get into this other story that Melanie brought in tonight about YouTube, people exiting YouTube and apparently moving over to Pornhub, even though they're not actually pornographers. So I want to learn more about that.
I would think you would use any other video distribution platform that didn't have the word porn in it.
You would think that.
Yeah, if you want to be taken seriously, you would think so. But we'll learn more about that story here in moments. Of course, your calls and thoughts, 855-450-FREE, like freedom, as we go to your calls and your thoughts. Actually, we're going to go to the Discord on-air call-in line room where Cheryl is on the line here. You're on Free Talk Live, calling from New York. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, folks? How you been?
You're on the air. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hit a treadmill, Melanie.
That's not very nice. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. I'm sure you don't have any problems in your life, Cheryl. 855-450-3733. As we continue here Yes, that's right. We're actually going to jump Sarah ahead of all of the other callers right now. Sarah, in New Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yes, the APD here, they gave out 90 speeding tickets on our freeways in the last 3 days.
Okay. So
that gets you excited, right?
The state police have handed out 90 tickets on freeways, in all of New Mexico or somewhere around wherever it is that you are? I don't know the relevance, I guess.
Well, APD stands for Albuquerque Police Department, APD.
Okay.
So it's on I-40, I-25 freeways in Albuquerque, within Albuquerque. So I'm very happy about it because it's better than raising taxes. No, they've already decided to raise taxes.
It's not better than raising taxes. It is the same thing as raising taxes.
Well, no, it taxes specific people.
Right. Well, most taxes don't affect everyone equally.
True, but
I mean, what they do is they raise gross receipts, gas tax, and property tax. And I know that you guys pay property tax. You were talking about it. New Hampshire has very high property tax.
They do, yeah. It's
so
awful.
why do they want to jack up people that just pay mortgage payments, that own a house? They need to get, I'm happy because they're getting people that are doing 90 miles an hour, causing 10-car pileups when they crash and one person killed, or get their head smashed in through the windshield. So I'm so happy that they pay and help fund the city instead of people buying clothes or shoes.
Do you think that no false tickets ever get written?
What do you mean? False mean people that are not speeding?
Yes.
Or at least not conducting themselves in a dangerous fashion.
Well, for every person that gets caught, there's like 100 people that's speeding that they never got
Okay,
caught.
that's not really responsive to the question, though. Do you trust the face value accusation on every ticket that gets written in America or every ticket in Albuquerque?
Well, yes, I do. Most of it, I do.
Most of it, or all of it?
No.
Yeah, so most of it would indicate no. So is it yes or is it no?
Well, I believe that they deserve to be ticketed.
Who's they?
The ones that they get caught, they deserve it. But just like they dispute the
I'm not disputing right now the legitimacy of speed limits or any other traffic laws. I'm asking you, do you think that every ticket that gets written is accurate on its face?
Every traffic ticket?
Or we can limit it to that. That's fine.
You know what? I believe that it is true. Because you know what? Why would
she's never driven a car in her life, so she has no idea what a ticketing experience.
Here's what I'd say, Sarah, is that the side of the road's a kind of a dangerous place, right? Like,
yeah.
Accidents happen because cars are on the side of the road, and the police lights are designed to catch people's attention, right? Like, they're designed for that. They're supposed to catch your attention. So if you put these distracting lights on the side of the road and these highly paid, highly insured government bureaucrats walking along the side of the road, you're really sort of creating a liability from both a safety and a financial standpoint for the city of Albuquerque that's probably not worth the revenue that comes from the ticket. So what I would say is that, look, I don't have a problem if somebody really is conducting themselves in a dangerous fashion on the road, but when the cops do a sting and we're going to get the speeders, often they're grabbing people that are doing, in some cases 6 miles an hour over the limit. Some cases it's 11 miles an hour over the limit. They all have their different thresholds, but it usually is something over, one of the fives. So 6, 11, 16, whatever it might be. And
but I just want to say also that they ran over and killed a 12-year-old girl at the crosswalk in front of a school.
Who, the police? Because that happens.
Do you think? Well, that's because of the speeding. I'm sure that the lady
cops speed too. Speed on their way to calls too, and sometimes they kill kids.
Yeah, so there's a far reach in between being accused of speeding with no proof versus you ran over a kid in a crosswalk. Those are two entirely different things. One of which, one may or may not have even occurred, and one's like, yeah, you shouldn't run people over. I think that's pretty obvious.
Well, the thing about it is, how come you guys make a big deal about the self-driving cars running over a person?
We made a big deal about that?
We did talk about it. We didn't make a big deal.
I mean, I
over
think
it.
that it's an interesting story, but so at this point, we've got regular cars. This year, it'll be 35,000 people killed. Self-driving cars, 1. So we're doing pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I prefer to get run over and killed by a self-driving car because I'm sick and tired of cars with people in it trying to kill me.
Doesn't make it. That is so irrelevant. Your preferred method of death is so irrelevant.
As long as there wasn't a human behind the wheel, she would be happy dying at the hands of a
I want to know
robot.
what we're going to do to provide meaningful work for all the police officers that have to hand out tickets these days once the cars are self-driving.
I mean, like, you understand that quotas exist. I'm not saying you should do 90 and a 45. I'm saying I don't necessarily believe that that's what's occurring because there's absolutely no evidence that it occurred whatsoever.
Well, you know, I happen to live here. I know what they do.
You sit on the side of the highway with a speed gun knowing what speed people are driving? I don't believe that.
I would believe it.
You know what? But when they wreck, like I said, they got 10 cars totaled up. One person gets their head bashed out, and the other one gets thrown out of the car. I mean, it's not funny. You know, you always say, oh, speeding doesn't do nothing. But you know what?
Well, why,
wreck,
Sarah, don't you advocate, a more serious penalty? I mean, if indeed giving people $100+ speeding tickets is a good thing in your mind, then why not just go ahead and throw them in jail or maybe the death penalty for speeding? I mean, you want people to take this seriously, don't you?
Well, the thing about it is this is New Mexico. They have like 28 DWIs, and then they don't go to jail here.
No, but I'm asking you.
They don't go to jail for DWIs.
You don't have any executions.
What about executions for speeding? I mean,
not
let's
since
get serious.
1939.
Get serious, though. I mean, if you want people to take this seriously, why not threaten them with some serious time or some death?
Well, you know something. I don't know, but I think death is too much. They don't kill people when they murder children here, so why should we put them in death?
Right, so we found Sarah's line in the sand. She's not willing to go all the way to the death penalty for speeding. Thank you for the call tonight. Appreciate it. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves here in the remaining moments of Free Talk Live. Plus, YouTube versus Pornhub. It's on the way. It's Free Talk Live.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best Liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. We got moments remaining here. Just enough time for you if you get on the line right now. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Will our callers completely waste their opportunity to be heard by a national radio audience or not? That's what we're about to find out as we continue going to your calls and thoughts with an obvious level of callers coming in from Twitch, which sometimes can be really great, but most of the time has been pretty disappointing, let me tell you. So anyway, with you here tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
But we do take them all of the calls here on Free Talk.
What do you
Live
want from 14-year-old kids that have had everything handed to them up to this point, including the game console on which they're calling?
I want them to lower the age of majority so that they can go be productive.
Get a job.
Yeah. Get a job, kid.
Right. All right. So
hey, I started my job at 12 years
Yeah, but
old.
jobs are cool because then you can buy stuff and move out of your parents' house.
Right.
That's true.
And then when you talk crap, people have to listen because you got money.
You can stay in your parents' house and buy even more stuff.
It's true.
I mean, you could, but why would you?
Ask the thousands of people in America who are living with their parents through the age of 30 or 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't have a particular problem with it. I mean, it depends on how you get along with your parents, really, is what it comes down to. Is if it's not an infringement on how you're living your life, then yeah, that's a great idea. You know, live with, it's just roommates that care about you. It's good.
We're going to continue here with your calls and thoughts. We go to Otis. He's in Orange County, New York, listening on Twitch or watching at twitch.lrn.fm. Go ahead, Otis.
Hey, how we doing tonight, everybody?
Great. We're on the air. Go ahead with your thoughts.
So I just want to say, to all the trolls out there, it's really tiring. People are just trying to listen, and, there's some good topics that came up tonight. Like you guys were talking about Facebook. I actually tried to delete my own Facebook, and it only lasted 2 days. I couldn't get off it. It was tough.
So
it was tough.
When you say you tried to, how hard did you try?
You physically can't delete your Facebook, and I've had to try to do this for clients,
Well,
and
yeah,
you cannot
you can't
delete your
it.
accounts.
It's wacky. It's wacky like that. It's really wacky because they won't delete it. They're going to keep it around. They want you to come back. They know you're going to come back because it's like a drug.
You're
they know
right.
you're coming back for it.
You're
So
absolutely
they keep it
right.
around. They're crazy like that. Okay? So what I do to myself is I say to myself, all right, I'm going to delete Facebook. So I removed it off my phone. I said, okay,
Yep.
at the very least, I'm not going to add new content to it.
That's
right?
a good first step.
And then, couple days later, my friend's like, did you see this cat picture I posted on Facebook? Look at this freaking cat. So I go onto Facebook, and there's the cat. I had to go on to see the cat. And so, you know.
That just sounds like the most boring clickbait. I mean, no,
the internet
offense,
really is about cats and porn. Come on.
I believe Otis. I believe his story.
I believe it, but just, I don't know. That just doesn't sound intriguing to me.
People love cats. You don't
I know,
understand.
it's like the willpower. Listen, you have to have the willpower to overcome Facebook. Oh,
you know what? You know what might be a good idea if you're really trying to get off? With some people I went to grad school with, they would give their password to somebody else and tell them to change it so they couldn't log it back on and give it to them after finals were over.
My problem is my password is after my dog's name, Buster, so I actually name all my passwords that.
So what's your
what I'm saying is...
But what's your username?
Well, he's my little bub.
Okay, but you could give someone...
He's very nice.
Okay, so
everybody loves Buster.
You might want to go
Thank you for redeeming Twitch
change
tonight,
all your
Otis.
passwords now.
I just want to say thank you for redeeming this.
You might
This
want to
is
go
great.
change all your passwords
Yeah,
now.
she's suggesting
well, it's
that.
not just Buster. I use capital letters and numbers.
Okay, but...
Great call, man. Thanks for making it. I appreciate it.
I hope that was fake.
Thank God. Of course it was. It was hilarious.
What are you talking about?
That was great.
Of course it's fake. Huh?
Best call of the night. So fake, but yet so true. I mean, he's talking
nobody's
about...
enough of a chooch to cut on the radio and say what the passwords are.
That's not true. People post their credit card numbers and a little code on the back on Facebook, and I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that was pretty good, man. See, now that's what we're talking about with a good crank call. A good character caller like that who's got
I don't get to say the word chooch on the radio too often. So
he's got something to say. It's funny. It was well thought out. He might have taken a few notes. That was a good crank call. So unless he was real, in which case it's still funny and was still pretty entertaining. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. But he's right, though, about... I've heard this about Facebook, is that they keep your account active for a certain time frame until finally supposedly deleting it after however many weeks. At least that's what they do with the Facebook page. So if you just want to go and delete a page from Facebook, they say, we'll delete that in 14 days. Give you time to come back.
Delete your account, and they will go so far as to tell you cannot delete your personal account.
Your actual account.
Yeah.
And we know that they keep all your data on file.
You can sort of
anyway.
deactivate it, right? But then it comes back.
Yeah, you can deactivate it, but all you have to do is log in to get it undeactivated. So
I gotta
it's not
say,
really
I'm looking at Facebook right now, and this joke was worth looking at Facebook today. It's got that Hogue character, the young man with his arm raised and sort of the the fist of revolution, and it says, "My generation's going to start a revolution," and it's got that drill sergeant guy underneath it, and he says, "Your generation can't start a lawnmower."
That's cute.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, let's continue.
Let's find
here.
somebody on Twitch who can't start a lawnmower. Let's go.
We're going to David, who's calling from a city in New Mexico that he says is named after pornography. Go ahead, David. You're on Free Talk Live. This will be good.
Yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico. But I think they predate pornography. Well, I guess they don't predate pornography, but they've had that name for like 400 and some years, and even longer if you go back to the original Albuquerque in Spain. So.
All right.
I was calling on that rocket, but that Sarah had said something. I had a fun experience on the interstate one time. Two bullet bikes were in my rearview mirror. I could see them about a half mile back on the interstate, and I could see they were coming fast, really fast. And when they went by me, they were parallel, and one was on one side of me and one was on the other in the other lane. They were both about 3 feet away from the vehicle. And they were about maybe a tenth of a second in trail. So one of them rocked the vehicle, and then the other one did. And they were doing about, I estimate, 160 miles an hour. And I know what 160 looks like from the outside and from the inside. And when they went by and rocked the vehicle, if you've ever been rocked by a semi that's gone by, say you're parked on the side of the freeway and a semi goes by and it rocks the vehicle. Yeah. They rocked my truck more than any semi that has ever gone by me.
Man, that's fast.
So that was kind of...
We got to go, David. We got to get some other folks on here. I appreciate the call tonight. Let's go to Doug. He's in Chicago listening via the TuneIn app. Doug, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much I'm looking to get out of Illinois completely.
Yeah, good plan.
I'm calling to find out... I can't go into detail about everything going on here.
It's bad. We know it's really bad there.
Really bad. They did do the budget, but they have the the debt continuing to go up. They're now at $14.95 billion and pension obligation of between 120 and 180 billion.
And they raised the income tax within the last few years, and so on and so forth.
Don't worry, the United States government will bail them out anyway, so it doesn't matter where you go.
I hope that they don't. I want to watch it go down.
Sorry, socialism doesn't work that way.
I want to be on a lifeboat. I want to be off the ship. You know what I mean? I want to be on a lifeboat. But I do want to watch it. They've dug their hole. I can't go into detail. I've done petition after petition trying to get our local rep here out, and everybody voted for him in the election that we had here. But what I'd like to know from you can be like in New Hampshire, do you ever hear them talk about like the libertarian vote? I mean, do you really have that much pull?
So the libertarians get talked about all the time.
Ian just got interviewed for an hour by the New Hampshire Public Radio over the influence, to some extent or another, of libertarians, on each other and sort of in New Hampshire and, just the whole thing.
Libertarians here get media all the time. We are something that the statists are very concerned with. In fact, one of the state reps here in Keene back in 2012 called Free Staters the single greatest threat to the state. And that was not an understatement. The libertarian movement in New Hampshire is significant, and it's growing slowly, but it is growing. And the more people that we can get here, the sooner the better. I wish we had more time to talk to you about it, Doug, but feel free to call back another night because you're in the very last segment and the last moment of the show here. But we're happy to field any other questions. Mark and I have been here for more than a decade. Melanie, you're here for what, 3 years now? 2 years?
November 15.
November 2015, so coming up on your third full year.
I know there's Nazis in Illinois. I remember that from Blues Brothers.
But Doug, thanks for the call tonight. And if you want to learn more, check out the 101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire. It's a great documentary film over at 101reasonsfilm.com. It's an hour long, and it is completely free, so be sure you do that. Also, whether you're in New Hampshire or not, you might want to find out where local businesses are that are liberty-oriented, and liberty.menu has that. It is a very easy-to-use site exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and for those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. You just go to liberty.menu. You can list your business right now, tonight, for no cost. There's no cost to list as many things as you want to list on there, whether it's your business or events that you might be involved in or digital content that you've created. You can put it all up there. You can rate, you can review, you can share with others. It's really a slick site. And like I said, it's totally free to use it. Over at liberty.menu, you can use code FTL and get a special badge to identify yourself as a Free Talk Live listener over at liberty.menu. We'll see you tomorrow night. You can join us online over at freetalklive.com. Don't forget Melanie's website, tax.freetalklive.com, if you need some help with tax time, and unfortunately, that time is pretty much now. We'll see you tomorrow. freetalklive.com in the meantime.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, March 26th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.63 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,348 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,132. Antiwar.com reports a week after taking the district capital, the Turkish military has issued a statement claiming full military control over Syria's entire Afrin district. The Kurdish district was first invaded back in January with an eye towards expelling the Kurds from border areas. The fall of Afrin city last week was effectively the end of the fighting, though Turkish forces still had to make their way through a few scattered villages in the district's south and have also faced some resistance from Kurdish YPG forces. Turkish officials have indicated that they are moving eastward from Afrin, attacking the town of Tel Rifat. This is likely an effort to temporarily delay the confrontation with the U.S. over the city of Manbij. Manbij is Kurdish-held with a U.S. military presence, and Turkey had previously said it would be the next target after Afrin. Months of Turkish strikes appear to have had some serious impact on life in Afrin, as Turkey reported they've discovered a hidden underground hospital in Afrin. The site contained a lot of U.S.-provided medical aid and YPG uniforms, leading Turkey to conclude the hospital was treating Turkish terrorists. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports U.S. and foreign law enforcement agencies will now have easier access to Americans' electronic communications after news that a provision was included in the federal spending bill. The Clarifying Overseas Use of Data Act, also known as the CLOUD Act, gives law enforcement access to the contents of a wire or electronic communication and any record of any information if those contents are stored in servers overseas, regardless of the privacy laws of that country. In addition, the CLOUD Act allows the President of the United States to enter into agreements with other countries to share private electronic communications and data of individuals regardless of the privacy laws of each country. The sponsors of the bill, Senators Orrin Hatch, Sheldon Whitehouse, Chris Coons, and Lindsey Graham, said it also allows the laws to catch up with technology. Hatch said in a statement last month, the CLOUD Act bridges the divide that sometimes exists between law enforcement and the tech sector by giving law enforcement the tools it needs to access data throughout the world, while at the same time creating a common sense framework to encourage international cooperation to resolve conflicts of law. The bill also received praise from Microsoft President Brad Smith, who said it creates a modern legal framework for how law enforcement agencies can access data across borders. But critics of the CLOUD Act say it legalizes erosion of privacy rights. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital privacy organization, says people's private emails, social media chats, and other online communications will be open to foreign law enforcement without a warrant and with few restrictions on using and sharing your information. The EFF also says the bill will allow U.S. privacy laws to be bypassed on U.S. soil. Senators Ron Wyden and Rand Paul attempted to get that provision an individual hearing and subsequent vote, saying it places far too much power in the president's hands and denies Congress its critical oversight role, but their request was denied. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports fewer than half of Americans trust Facebook to obey U.S. privacy laws, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Sunday, illustrating the challenge facing the social media network after a scandal over its handling of personal information. The poll, taken Wednesday through Friday, also found that fewer Americans trust Facebook than other tech companies that gather user data, such as Apple, Alphabet Incorporated's Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Yahoo. Some 41% of Americans trust Facebook to obey laws that protect their personal information, compared to 6% 66% who say they trust Amazon, 62% who trust Google, 60% who trust Microsoft, and 47% who trust Yahoo. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. In local news, a succession of terrible events failed to befall a 33-year-old riding a longboard to his digital media job Monday. Shocked bystanders helplessly watched as media developer Jake Reston skated safely through Manhattan traffic without flipping over on his obnoxiously oversized skateboard and smashing his stupid face into the pavement, with many saying they were horrified at the sight of the floppy-haired little shit walking into his office unscathed.
It was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. He wasn't even hit by a car. I was just praying that someone would step in and throw him off his stupid little skateboard and punch him right in the mouth.
In other news, a study finds owning a cool leather jacket is more rewarding than raising a child. A community garden sprouts the first condom wrapper of spring, and a little turtle gorges on an entire raspberry.
Tonight in the cabin, schoolmarm's telling about how they talk about corpulation down the school. Only a fool needs telling how to screw. Just let the pecker guide you. But come on, listen anyhow.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
No fear! No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear, no fear here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, F in the BEA, beautiful studios of Freedom in the Nest, Phoenix, Oh, we're going to have some fun today. In the third hour, we got Ken Shorgan. He's going to be in studio. The Daily Economist just happens to live here not too far away, 15 minutes from me in Phoenix, Arizona. And we're going to go ahead and talk to him, the Daily Economist. You know, we had him on the show, found out he lived here. I'm like, get your butt in the studio. Well, he's coming in, and we're going to have a good time with that, talking about the economy and such. Second hour, Brian Sovereign from Sovereign Tech. He's always got good stuff to talk about. I tell you what he did. He goes, Ernie, man, you're always going on about pirate communications and pirate currency and pirate and leave me aloneism, and I don't want to be surveilled and done. And there you go. I know who you need to talk to. You need to talk to How Do. How do you do? Well, let me tell you, it's going to be very nice. We have, and I talked just a moment ago, just for a second, with David Beerley, and I know he's really, 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 really cool and smart because he has a British accent. So that must be it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and watch a video. And what I'm going to do, let me pull this up. We're going to go ahead and do a video. And it's like only 60 seconds or so, but it's going to, hopefully explain everything. And then we'll get right to David, and we'll go ahead and find out every little thing. Now, let me go ahead and start this, get it all up, and then do this, push that button, make sure I do it right. Okay, here we go.
Your personal data. They told us you were a cryptocurrency enthusiast. Have you ever wondered what else they know about you? Or saying that, what Google, YouTube, Twitter, etc. knows about you. Facebook has up to 800 pages of personal data per user. If only there was an alternative. A messaging and social media platform that puts a stop to this exploitation by putting you in full control of the data you're prepared to share, if any, and rewards you. Well, now there is, and it's called How Do. Decentralized, democratic, revolutionary. How Do lets you connect with friends and family. Pay and share value across the network. Earn from the advertising you're prepared to receive or the data you're prepared to share, if any. Leveraging blockchain, Howdo is social media built around the values of trust, openness, and contribution. It's about creating the change that people are increasingly demanding, from the Internet of Information to the Internet of Value, putting right what's wrong with established centralized platforms, and inspiring more meaningful human interactions. This is Howdo, and we're ready to get started. Take back control by joining us today. Together, we can change the world.
Okay. Am I ready to get started? I don't know. Let's find out. But I'm very, 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 very interested in such things. All right. David, hook us up, man. Tell me, I'll tell you one thing that popped out. Exchange value. Is Howdo also a crypto currency? What?
Yeah, hi, Ernest. I was going to say, I'd like to drink what you're drinking with your energy.
Bulletproof!
Okay. Yeah, so in essence, Howdo is a decentralized social platform that really just flips 180 degrees. We have a token. It's not a cryptocurrency per se. It's a token that is used to unlock different features on the application, but ultimately it is part of the crypto movement.
Okay, all right, time out. First thing you got to do is explain to the audience and pretend like I don't know. In fact, you don't really have to pretend. What the heck is the difference between a cryptocurrency and a token?
Okay, so a cryptocurrency is something that is acting more like money. You can use it for you can purchase different things, different outlets, whereas a token is really to be used within a network. So you can think of it as, a token at an amusement park, yeah? Disneyland, you might buy a token that you can use on any of their rides, but if you go to another park, you can't use the token.
Okay, BS. I can take a Six Flag token and trade it with somebody else for something that they wanted. So you're telling me that you can't trade this on any platform? It's not put on an exchange. It's going to have some value to somebody. Hell, SimCity tokens have value. I mean,
Exactly, and that's where I'm a little bit gagged because the SEC have brought out some global police rules with regards to how we can talk about a token and a cryptocurrency.
Okay, time out. So you're saying it's because, it kind of works like cryptocurrency. You might be able to exchange it somewhere with something. But I'm not saying cryptocurrency. I'm saying token, right?
Exactly,
right,
exactly. If I come back on the show in about 6 weeks' time, then I can actually answer that question directly.
All right. I get it. See, I was wondering. I'm going, what the hell's the difference? I see tokens I can trade with and kind of make them convert and kind of. What the hell are you guys talking about? Oh, it's created on a platform to facilitate a lot of the features of the platform that give it value, and somebody somewhere might want to pay somebody for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right. I get it. That's good distinction. I never had that distinction before because, I don't know. If I asked it, I don't remember. But a token is something that has value in a community or at a park or a private thing or whatever. But when I take it out and somebody wants it to go back and use or something like that and it has value and I trade it, it's hard to tell the difference between a cryptocurrency, and I guarantee there's going to be some United States government agency that's going to agree with me.
This whole kind of discussion has originated from the SEC making statements that the rest of the world has adopted. So you can thank your own government for that.
Oh, no. I thank them for a lot of things they freaking do. No, you're to blame. Oh, okay. So now we got let's go on about got that token thing taken care of. And how is the site, how is Howdo created using the blockchain? I mean, I never thought that the blockchain was that fast or that, necessary in doing social, but does it give me, and how does it give me more privacy, more control? Is it essential that it's blockchain? How does that work?
Sure. I I mean, from my standpoint, it's there's a distinction between decentralized and the blockchain, and I'll give you a quick overview. Then I'll jump into some specifics about why.
You go, man. You got like a minute and a half before the first break, so see what you can do. Go.
Okay, so the blockchain is basically a big spreadsheet that whatever you put into the spreadsheet is going to last forever. Decentralized is basically when there's no central government. There's no central player. Everything is decentralized. They don't mean the same things. We're leveraging decentralized in relation to data, and we are using the blockchain to record certain things that the users don't mind being recorded. So we are leveraging both sets of technology to basically give people back the control of their data and their digital footprint, which basically is what's really excited me head over the last 48 hours with regards to Facebook.
All right, when we come back, we're going to drill down on that. How much control do I have? How open surveillance it is? How much information do you have to give up? And can you control it? Well, it sounds good. Sounds good. Is it too good? We're going to find out. From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor,